starways tonight. Yes, it's cold in the starways tonight. And we need someone to save us. We need someone who's ready for a fight. Onward through the astral they do fly. Onward through the astral they do fly. While squidlings tend their trusty nautiloid. Pilgrims of the wild space they defend. Empires of starbound tyrants they offend. With flaming sword and staff and dart they'll fight their way back to the heart of Oriel. By forces they do not know they are heard. By forces they do not know they are watched. Oh, the lonesome cry of eldritch beasts from Rock of Brawl to halt the ceaseless winter. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. It's cold in the starways tonight. Yes, it's cold in the starways tonight. We need someone to save us. We need someone who's ready for a fight. Onward through the astral they do fly. Onward through the astral they do fly. While squidlings tend their trusty nautiloid. Pilgrims of the wild space they defend. And empires of starbound tyrants they offend. With flaming sword and staff and dart they'll fight their way back to the heart of Oriel. By forces they do not know they are heard. By forces they do not know they are watched. Oh, the lonesome cry of eldritch beasts from Rock of Brawl to halt the ceaseless winter. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. It's cold in the starways tonight. Yes, it's cold in the starways tonight. tonight. And we need someone to save us. We need someone who's ready for a fight. Onward through the astral they do fly. Onward through the astral they do fly. While squidlings tend their trusty nautiloid. Pilgrims of the wild space they defend. And empires of starbound tyrants they offend. With flaming sword and staff and dart, they'll fight their way back to the heart of Orel. By forces they do not know they are heard. By forces they do not know they are watched. Oh, the lonesome cry of eldritch beasts from rock of brawl to halt the ceaseless winter. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. It's cold in the starways tonight. Yes, it's cold in the starways tonight. We need someone to save us. We need someone who's ready for a fight. Onward through the astral they do fly. Onward through the astral they do fly. While squidlings tend their trusty nautiloid.
And now we are live. Right after that lovely time.
Okay,
Hello.
did we get that like earth-shatteringly dark statement? Or
No, I wish I had.
Oh.
I should have.
Oh, shut.
I didn't
The only
realize.
thing that came through was there are no
probably
warp
best
Betray on the
zones.
warpath.
It's
Yeah.
probably best you didn't.
Yeah. Anyways, welcome back, team, party, adventuring crew, to the interwebs. We are Everybody's a Mimic,
Yay.
an actual play 5th edition webcast, currently adventuring through Spelljammer, aka D&D Space, as we run through the Light of Xarxis campaign, campaign, before we eventually make our way back to finish Rime of the Frost Maiden. If you are just joining us, you can find all of our past episodes on our YouTube account, and if you have been watching for a while, I don't know how, because we don't really have that many viewers.
Check our
Anywho,
socials.
My friend Ava, who loves our podcast,
yeah, like the
our
few
webcast,
people
or
out
whatever it
there.
is.
I love you all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I hope you
We're doing
enjoy
this just for you.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, we love you. We're your best friends
We do.
in
We
real
We no
life.
longer do this for us. We do this for you now.
Yeah. This is
We
Yeah,
are
and if any of you
deepening this
happen
parasocial relationship.
I
And
have
if any of you happen to be attending SAC Anime later today, I'll be there.
yeah. There you go. He'll be
If any of
giving
you
out
two happen to live within like 2 miles of me, find me
man.
in a room full of thousands of people.
yeah, you're giving out
You can
autographs.
just
You
set
also
a time
have,
where you're gonna stand in a hallway and people can come meet you, and you can pretend it's like a meet and greet and sign autographs.
Yeah.
In fairness, I am in the 99th percentile for height. So like I will stand out.
Yeah. You just got to put a helmet with horns on top of it, and you'll be instantly recognized.
I will be dressed
That
as
is-
Sig Curtis, actually.
Tell
That is
everyone to
technically
like and
how I met the
subscribe to our
cast
YouTube
of
page.
Wolf 359 at Dragon Con. We just like
Actually, I
met in
love
the
Wolf
hallway
359.
outside of an overcrowded Ghibli panel, and then we hung out with them.
Wolf 359 fucking slaps. It's great.
Rude. Wait, did you say sucks or slaps?
He said slaps.
Slaps.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
like,
I
what?
thought you said sucks, and I was like, damn, okay, I see
No.
how it is.
I would think you
It
would have
does
a little
slap.
more respect for my taste at this point. Jesus.
I thought you were making a joke.
No, never.
God, Rosemary, this thing that you really
I've never
like
once
just
joked.
fucking sucks.
It's like you have terrible taste in media. How dare you?
Yeah.
Also, just you as a person. Ugh.
So we
No,
haven't.
I understand.
We haven't been here for a while. In fact, we've missed 3 major holidays. So I have 3 questions for each of your characters we get into the session. We'll go round
You guys
table.
haven't been here.
Yeah.
I've been here the
What
whole
have I
time.
been doing?
we missed Halloween. We missed Thanksgiving. Although if you are listening and not from America, that's not as important of a holiday. And of course, we missed the Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, winter solstice,
Yule,
Yule. Am I missing any pagan holidays? Probably a lot of them.
probably.
I think
Yeah,
Yule
like,
is the pagan holiday.
I mean, there are many delicious flavors of bacon.
Yeah.
Well, true, but that's like that and solstice are the winter ones.
Right. Okay, so we have 3 questions to revolve around each of these holidays, groups, because the winter one is a lot. First, what will your character dress up as for Halloween? Second, what are they thankful for? And third, what is the top of the wish list for Papa Christmas to bring, or Papa Winter Solstice, or Papa Yule, or Mama Yule, or Papa Hanukkah to bring to your character under
The
the
wood
starbow tree?
is the gender neutral D&D Santa, is that Zappa? Zappa? XAPA?
Yes, it is now.
It's like every conservative's worst nightmare is like gender neutral D&D Santa.
Gender neutral.
Gender neutral,
Devil's
ethnically
Dynamite.
ambiguous.
Just a night light, like beige, maybe a dark tan. Yeah. So we will start with Bitte, because it's a B.
Yeah, all at once or one at a time, and just kind of round robin it.
All at once. We'll run it through.
Okay. Halloween costume. I was gonna say Bita is already constantly dressed as a Yeti, and that's for most people the scariest thing. So low effort, like if he doesn't have time, he just goes as himself.
Right.
Oh, actually, no, that's better. I think he just takes off the Yeti thing and just goes as his actual like skin. And he's like, "It is me. You have not seen this. It is fantastic."
And everyone's like,
The-
Bitte, it's a Halloween party. Put some pants on.
No, he's got like a squirrel hide.
A squirrel hide?
Squirrel hide.
Look,
Got the Tarzan loincloth.
look. This is an S tier quote. So if any of you recognize it, kudos. Even a skinny squirrel makes a fine furry jockstrap.
God.
Wonderful. Well, what is Bitte thankful for?
Oh man.
Is
I
this
guess
before or after we're in space?
Before we're in space, Beta's thankful for the open air, the freedom to roam, the wind in his face, and the meat between his teeth after a good hunt. Right now, right now, the slim chance, the slim chance to either save his family or kill as many people responsible as possible.
So you are thankful for vengeance,
Mm-hmm.
for the opportunity of vengeance.
Yeah. Well, oh man, I was gonna say more the chance to save his family, but honestly, I think where he's at right now, the vengeance is a little more intoxicating. I think he's got. I think. I think he's someone who doesn't feel a lot of rage because, like, he exists in the natural world, right? So,
Mhm.
like, the
It's a
natural
waste of
world
energy
is harsh.
normally.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the natural world is harsh. Like, people die, people are eaten, and like, there's no use hating a Rimmeraz for eating you. Like, that's its job. That's how it survives. And you know what? In a certain way, you go on living.
I could just imagine
But then,
you just getting eaten by a big monster and be like, good on you.
It's okay.
Rejoining the natural cycle.
but to have the entire natural order subverted is like such anathema. I think he's feeling rage in a way that he has never, well, obviously in a way that he's never felt before. His family's never been threatened like this, but
Mhm.
I don't think he's ever truly felt rage before this experience.
All right, and last but not least, what is Bitte celebrating, and what gift is he wishing for?
I think he is probably wishing for that vengeance. It's a vengeance double feature.
Vengeance teleportation. It's just like, I want to open a gift and my enemies be inside, and I can jump in and fight them to all heart's content.
Yeah, no, I mean, he probably specifically wishes for the people responsible for this bound and gagged,
Yeah.
bound and gagged in the box.
Like that the Hastain, the person who came last session, who then just let it slip that, oh hey, yeah, I'm responsible for your family or for your whole world getting
It's like, cool, die.
strangled.
Yeah,
that was kind of been his response. Yeah, it was cool, die.
Yeah,
I love how the book didn't expect any adventuring group to immediately want to kill this guy.
Yeah.
beat to cast death. Oh, also, like, if there's like a practical aspect, I don't know, like a magical returning dart. That'd be kind of sick.
Yeah. Well, vengeance.
Like a magical returning dart of the lightning bolt or something.
Yeah. All right, I'll put it in your characters list. Moving on, Delnadre. You're up next, alphabetically.
All right. Del shows up to the Halloween party and he's a little confused. He thought we were all doing a group costume. So Del is dressed as Levi and Pansy is dressed as Bitte. He's just like, oh, is that supposed to be me? Like, because you took off all of the Yeti stuff. I don't get it. I don't see it. Are we both Levi?
I think we like doubled up on Levi's.
Everyone came as Levi.
The person who's throwing the party is just like, can y'all put some clothes on? Goodness.
It's like, why did we all show up to a stranger's party?
Yeah. Just walk into somebody's house. Ah, we're here for the party.
It's one of those like
Where
high
are your
school movie
clothes?
tropes where you hear about a party even though you've never hung out with this person and you just show up.
Oh my god! I had one of that.
Oh, no.
Recently. It was like fucking 40 people in a smallish 1-bedroom apartment that smelled of kitty litter. Like, I wasn't happy about me being there, and then like 40 people showed up. Like I'm kind of dating the person whose birthday it was, and they're like, I know like 10 of these people. I need to get out of here. Bad news bears.
Bad news bears.
Bad news bears.
So the group costume.
Yeah. Okay. What is Delnadre thankful for?
Del is thankful for having companions by his side to share in this quest, because I don't think I could do this on my own.
Aw.
There's a lot of thieving that needs to be going on, and if everyone else is just focused on him, it makes it a lot harder.
Yeah,
Not-
Dell's kind of the backline person, so
not
it's
thieving.
nice to have a lot of loud people to draw attention.
Repurposing, repackaging, right? You run a drop shipping business.
I'm regifting. You don't need this. I'm helping you declutter.
Dell's decluttering service. If you don't miss it, you never needed it.
What's that one
This
decluttering
sparks joy for me.
fad?
What?
The approach.
You're about like Marie
Yes.
Kondo?
Yes, condo. You're just gonna go through. Is that Delnadre's side job?
If it doesn't spark joy, then let me steal it.
Yeah, it's like one of those like lawyer ads where like you don't pay anything unless we win, but it's just you don't pay anything because I've already taken it from you.
Yeah. They also act like that's like special. Like no. That is how that particular legal service works.
Yeah. All right, and Delnadre, what are you wishing is under your tree?
Well, so Dell comes from a very mixed heritage family, having lots of adopted siblings. So he's kind of used to celebrating all of the various winter traditions. So his list is long.
You gotta have a gift for every single celebration.
But we'll just say that Dell is a he's new to being a proper puffin parent, so most of his list is like animal needs things. It's like a cat tree. It's like she probably wants something that she can perch on. And birds, she'd probably like this hammock. I need like a little puffin hammock for my bedroom. Puffin treats, feather grooming combs, beak wax.
Like the D&D equivalent to a Chewy subscription. Just randomly get things, or a bark box. The puffin box. Monthly subscription
Exactly,
for your
that's
puffin
just what I
needs.
need.
All right, wonderful. Levi, you are next. What is Levi dressing up as for the Hallows Eve party?
I think a little bit out of spite and a little bit out of irony, I think he's gonna dress up as an incubus. And he shows up kind of dressed like himself, but like a little bit more devilly and a little bit more horny, And he's like everybody shows up dressed as him, and so he thinks that everyone is dressed up like an incubus.
Levi.
And so he truly thinks that we've done it. We've done a group costume.
Levi, did not expect that. Did not expect you to go full just like, yeah, let me just Montero this.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah. Are we in like Granny's house back from your town? The
100%.
speaker proxy.
She's loving the view.
It's just like, yeah, this is what I wanted. Playing some backroom poker as well. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
What is Levi thankful
Breakfast
for?
came early.
Levi is thankful for this new group of friends that he has made. He's also thankful for having a quest to be on, because bouncing from little quest to little quest to little quest back home was not his vibe, but having something big to focus on is better. Obviously, he's not loving the fact that the planet is under threat, but having these people around him to share in this quest and support each other is what he's thankful for.
Nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. And what is Levi wishing appears underneath the holiday tree? The
So
star
this one's
tree.
a two-parter. I think the first part is what he's hoping doesn't appear, and that's a conversation with his great-grandfather. He tries to avoid that one, but unfortunately, it's more of like a dream talk that he can't really get out of every Zappa holiday. So he's wishing that one doesn't come. And then I guess like he would ideally like his holiday present to be delivered straight to his room, mostly because the tree on this ship is kind of an asshat. Um, so if stuff ends up under that tree, we don't know where it's going to end up. Probably in space.
He's just like, what is this? What is this clutter?
Yeah.
Ugh,
But
more
like a really
work.
cool like flaming sword would be neat. I think he'd like a nice big flaming sword.
Yeah, but
Definitely a
Del
sword.
already has a flaming sword.
Yeah, well, he's not sharing it, so.
Del, where's your flaming sword again?
The guy is at a whatever
Left it back
Bryn
on Earth.
Shander or some shit is still working on it.
He's probably like, we pan back to Bryn Shander and you see this guy with his flaming sword just valiantly fighting off the crystal vines that his sword seems to be so effective against. He's like, haha,
I
I'm a
left
hero.
him with him and paid him to turn it into a finesse weapon, and he's like, all right, come back in 10 days or some shit. And I was like, oopsie
And he
doodles.
never came back.
I was keeping track of it. Like there wasn't enough time passed to actually go pick it up, and then we were in space.
That guy's he's actually just standing in
10
a.
days?
No, it was longer than that. It
Yeah,
was
I was
like
about to say, like, if it was
it was
10
like
days,
18 days
why
or
would
something.
we not have just stayed?
Yeah,
Remember, the
the
choice
guy's
to
actually
leave.
just standing in a corner.
Yeah.
He's just swishing the blade by himself. Just.
The last time we rested in Faerun, and I actually was keeping track of it, there were 14 days remaining still.
Yeah, well, time passes differently out here, right?
You know, I'm just assuming that we'll get back and he'll just be like, oh, yeah, that sword my great-grandfather was working on. How long has it been? No, it's just me. It's still me.
Did he pulled him a fake beard? Wait, no. He was a grandson. It was a Benjamin Button effect going on there. All right.
Yeah.
Oh God.
No, the great-grandson is also an old man now. That's how long it's been.
All right. Rosemary, what are you dressing up as for the party?
So Rosemary is dressed as Bitte.
Okay.
But then also has like a backup costume of like some capybara ears. If
Nice.
anyone forgot their costume.
Do you offer it to Bitte when you see him in nothing but a squirrel loincloth?
Like, you know, these could probably also be squirrel ears if you want. Like, it's up to you if you want to wear them.
This is a fantastic gift. Thank you so much.
Are they real?
I mean, waste not, want not, right? Also, we live in
How dare you? How dare you assume
probably a
I've
world where
left...
fake plastic doesn't.
I would never let a capybara die. But yes, no.
The circle of life does not apply to capybaras.
They are immortal creatures that when they perish, it's actually just like a phoenix fire, and they just puff out of a little thing of fur, and another capybara appears.
End the cruelty of capybara ear farms.
I know, right? It's like
Just slow
Shark Fin
black and
Soup.
white footage of like 30 capybara walking around earless.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you could do something with like bark and brown moss if
You're
there
right.
were not
Like
if there were
felt.
not ethically sourceable capybara ears.
I mean, everything I have is ethically sourced.
Because we're not under capitalism.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I know this is going to be really uncomfortable, but I have healing magic. I can grow them back. I'm sorry.
I mean, proper anesthetic, not proper anesthetic, regeneration magic.
Yeah.
Put it to sleep. Or even
Oh my
better,
God.
you just
Dude,
polymorph somebody and rip their ears off, and then send them back.
Yeah. It was a bandit. They were gonna die anyway. It's fine.
did we just come up with unlimited capybara ears hack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or there's like 10 capybaras on the thing. We'd like started breeding a breeding program and just releasing capybaras throughout the multiverse, the cosmic universe.
It's like the miniature space hamsters, but better.
Yeah. You mean the giant space hamsters?
No, there's miniature one. Miniature giant space hamsters.
hamster.
What? Like Boo?
Well, there's giant space
Yeah, like
hamsters,
Boo.
and then there's one miniature giant space hamster.
Yeah. You figure out a way how to replicate that. So, what is Rosemary thankful for?
Rosemary is I know everybody has said this, but like Rosemary's thankful for her friends.
Mhm.
She's thankful to have like, even though everything has gone to shit, at least like her friends are still with her. And like oddly this whole experience, like cuz she was having the whole like identity crisis with like the whole Bree stuff, and
Mhm.
like weirdly this experience has allowed her to get back to her like healing and druidic feelings of like, okay, I know how to do things that other people don't know how to do, so like this is part of my identity that she is thankful to be able to hold on to despite everything going crazy.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Last but not least, what is Rosemary wishing appears under the great oak father's tree?
I think like the druid's midwinter ritual is probably like kind of like Yule, but like more like, oh, we're just like thankful for being able to get halfway through the harshest season of the year. We're gonna have like a feast, and we're gonna like make some I don't want to say sacrifices. What's the other word? Like gifts to the oak
Offerings?
tree. Offerings. That's the word.
Sacrifice. I
We
sacrificed
tithe
this
to the
acorn.
tree.
It's like offerings to the oak father.
Mhm.
In like, I guess historically hopes that it'll bring spring again, but now we're in endless winter again, or we were in endless winter, so it was like a little like, hey dad, hey dad, shit's going bad.
Hey.
So I think she is hoping that her capybaras are okay because they're still down on the world.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Uh
They are doing fantastic.
it is
Dogs.
like
The
does the
dogs!
dog does the dog die D&D edition? When the world explodes, are the capybaras and our dogs okay?
No, I mean, no. If the world explodes, no. unless
The world already exploded.
unless you took some no, the world is not exploded yet.
It's just a little cracked.
The
It's
world
just a little
is
cracked.
covered in crystal vines, and it will explode. But
It will explode
it has
eventually.
Not, it has not happened yet, right? I don't think we've had it. I don't, unless I forgot about that.
No, it's not.
It's just it's an inevitability of from what you've heard that it will happen soon. But soon TBD will be whatever needs to be the most convenient for us.
Yeah. Most convenient for our storyline.
Yes.
And maybe it's also like hoping that her tree shows up. The one that she wasn't able to actually pick up. That she bought last session.
You want a freaking tree to be you want the room tree?
I bought it. I paid for it. I want it to be delivered. I want my Amazon delivery to show up for Christmas.
That's right. And you sent those the friendly non-suspicious folks back from Rock a Brawl. You sent them to go and pick it up for you, right? Your new friends.
Maybe?
Pretty sure we
I think we hired them to do
yeah,
that.
they were supposed to deliver it, and yeah. You gave them a car and you're like, here you go, and then we left. So wonderful, excellent. maybe these things will just appear out of nowhere. Everyone will get what they wanted. Bitte will get vengeance. Delnadre will get some puffin outfits. Levi will not get a
little
conversation
sweater.
with their
She only has the one vest.
the fabulous vest. Maybe Levi will get a flaming sword gifted to him by his great-grandfather's ghost. And
So
A
Christmas
holy
Carol
avenger. Ugh.
Thanks, Granddad.
I wanted a flame tongue.
And then Rosemary will
wanted
get
a sun sword.
another tree. Don't know where we're gonna put it.
Go over real nice right now.
I don't know. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. You talked me into buying it, Mr. DM.
I did. Where we're gonna put it, we don't know. Maybe we'll build a ship out of it. But
yeah.
All right. Well, where we left off last time was an assault by the aesthetic, a Gen Z Rhaegar named Hastane appearing on the ship with her golem through Dimension Door, announcing that it was her who was responsible for sending the Zarxian Empire after your planet.
Was a golem?
Yeah, there was another one of her. It was a golem. I don't know if we ever got to that part of it all. It was just another one.
No.
We got distracted by trying to kill her.
Beta threw hands.
Yeah,
Beta threw hands immediately.
Oh, yes. And then she immediately disappeared back through her dimension door. Thank you for having 2 casts. And fled after she got harpooned through the chest. Not harpooned, darted through the chest by Bitte and took out 3/4 of her life in one turn. And then Starbow threw rocks at the aesthetic and dealt a significant amount of damage. Not enough to kill it, but definitely something to send it on its running away on its to lick its own wounds. So the aesthetic has disappeared. Dun 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 dun. It did use its jammer scream last session to cause some slight nosebleed in Fel Ardra. Actually, it was a bit more than just a slight nosebleed. She screamed bloody murder as she tried to hold on and reduce the amount of damage that would be dealt to the ship by the jammer scream. And instead of it being 13 days that y'all are stuck on the ship without it functioning, it's only 13 hours. She, however, did lose almost all of her blood through every orifice that there was. It is a very bloody mess. Commodore Crux.
Hate it when I have days like that.
Yeah.
I'ma sit there days like this, days like this, the druid said.
So, Fel is recovering at the moment as she is being looked upon by Commodore Crux. He is doing his best to provide some bandages. If I'm not mistaken, Rosemary, you did heal her. Yeah, I see some cure wounds, which is what kept her alive at this time. And y'all had some time during your preparations for what you planned on spending the next 13 hours doing. You had started to cast a ritual plant growth, and so that is where we find the party who all are floating along adrift in space, nothing around, just sitting ducks.
Carson, are you eating chips?
No.
There was something happening on your end.
He is.
I would never do that. I know that my thing picks up noises. Why would I forget about that? That's happened so many times. I should know that by now.
Every session, Carson has his bag of chips that he has to open.
Right next to the microphone.
We need to give you like a cloth bag of chips that, like, pre-session, you just dump your chips into this cloth bag. It's actually a really good idea.
Get like all the like quiet place setups.
Yeah.
And then like if you pre-soak them, they'll be softer and they won't crunch as much.
Oh my God. Actually, if you made
you're
your
planning
own
on having
chips...
soda and chips, just put them together.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that was really throwing me off. I accidentally hit play on the the video from last time, and I was hearing everybody's voice twice, and I was like, this conversation's not making sense.
All right, so yes, we
So plant growth.
yeah, plant growth. It starts to take effect almost immediately. You see new buds start to sprout on Starbow. He kind of like groans a little bit. This is definitely a lot of work, as he did not want. As he kind of, he goes through a growth spurt and just is forcibly being grown or overgrown. Now, the ship itself, for the most part, although it does have a giant tree stuck through the middle of it, is dead wood. Not going to have a lot of growth, but through the roots that are spread, down through the decks below Starbow, and especially around the Spelljammer chair, you start to see some small growth, some little sproutlings coming through, and the roots dig deeper and deeper into not only the floor, but through the floor into the cargo hold and below. Starbow groans. Crux, after having situated Fel Ardra in the bed, in a bed downstairs, pop her down there, and her bloodstain can disappear. Comes out to the main deck and looks out. He pulls out his pipe and puts some tobacco in it, lights it up, and takes a long drag. Settle in, everybody. We could be here for a while. As he stares off into space. So yeah, we've got a few hours before anything eventful happens. While Rosemary is focusing on her plant growth ritual, what is everyone else doing to mind their time? Hello?
Now we got 2 people muted.
Oh.
I think they were worried about making noises.
Silence. Oh, Ben did say somebody's at the door. That was 11 minutes ago, though.
Do we need to finish crafting on Del's armor?
Yes, okay. Spend some time to work on Delnadre's fake Zarxian armor. Kind of reworking the chitinous material as it makes up their formed breastplate. Delnadre, what are you up to?
Okay. I've been scrolling through my inventory, so I'll take this opportunity to ask. There's so much stuff in here I don't remember.
That's a good idea.
It's a good adventuring. Let me look what I have in my pack here.
I've got a sending stone in here, and I vaguely remember. I think maybe our guys back in Rock of Brawl, our new friends, who I wrote down as being Braxton and maybe Lee.
Yes, Braxton Lee.
One of them.
Yep.
Braxton/Lee.
There's 2 of them.
I think these are supposed to be tied to them. I don't know who else I would have a sending stone for.
I don't know if we got back. I don't think we had a sending stone when we were back on in Icewind Dale. So yes.
Yeah, I feel like if we had a sending stone, unless we completely forgot about it, that would have been really convenient to talk with the.
Did I do that as an infusion?
Yeah, it's a real easy.
Do I
way to
have
find out
those
who's on the
yet?
other end.
I'm fairly certain, if I remember correctly,
I don't have those yet.
that the sending stone was more of it was it worked more long distance, but it was more like a one-way, like a pager, so to speak. If I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember specifically.
I want to say that they gave it to you okay, if you have a request, send it through and we'll get it handled for you.
Okay.
Were you hoping to
if it's I was gonna say if it was a full-on communication, I was just gonna check in with them and be like, hey, so now that how's everyone reacting to that whole "we killed some astral elves" thing?
It does say sending stones go over any distance, even across planes. So, yeah, let's just retcon it back to, it's functioning now again. And, you kind of check in. Braxton's like, hello? Who's this?
Hey, it's Dell. We have limited amount of words that we can send. Don't waste them on something like that.
K comes back. One letter response.
That's it. We can only do this once per day.
Oh
You
wait,
just
it's
talk to him
literally
and be like,
it
hey,
is
don't
literally
send
this.
more.
Once sending is cast through the stones, they can't be used again until the next dawn.
Wait, wait. That is the funniest thing because your initial message says nothing and then it just goes. There- There's not a back and forth. Oh my god. Oh my god.
All right, well, that was eventful.
Rip.
Anything else you got fun in your inventory?
We're gonna okay. Do that 13 more times for me, please. That's how many days we got.
No, we got 13 hours.
You got 13 hours.
Oh, 13 hours. Oh, shit. Okay.
Put that back.
I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna sit down with this mind poison dagger, and see if I can figure out how to transfer the poison, or ideally replicate it. But I don't know if I'll have the tools to do that. So if not, transfer it to some. I have 6 silvered arrows that I picked up somewhere. And if I can transfer it onto some of those arrows.
Okay. There's definitely not like an alchemist kit here, but there is a kitchen, and if we've learned anything from meth dealers is that you can do quite a lot in a kitchen. Is Delnadre have any sort of training or expertise or past knowledge or interaction with poisons, specifically the creation of poisons?
No.
No. Okay.
I've probably handled them.
Right.
You know, we buy and sell, but I wouldn't be the person who would actually be
All right. Okay. Have you perhaps
creating them.
read a book so you have some vague knowledge, or is this very much going to be a trial and error? I have poison if I rub them together kind of thing.
You know, I'm gonna say I'll probably just completely even pass on. Dale would probably be aware that he would not be able to synthesize this compound.
Also, like maybe you could like, and this is just me
I
talking.
could scrape some off and put it in a test tube, swirl it around, and go, yep, that's poison.
I was gonna say
Yep, that sure is poison.
you could boil, right? You could boil the mind poison dagger, and that would remove the poison. Maybe.
And then just kind of sniff the fumes and see if I can figure out what they are. Yeah. Nah, I'll just try to transfer the poison from the dagger onto as many arrows as I can.
Okay.
To have it in a different form.
Yeah, roll a sleight of hand, but with, I want to say your disadvantage, because this definitely sounds like something that is of a first for Delnadre. So sleight of hand, but with disadvantage, as you rub the dagger, the silvered arrows against. That's all. Yeah. You aren't sure how long they're gonna last, but you do know that there is definitely some poison on the end of those arrows.
How many? On all 6?
All
or
6. Yep.
Okay.
But the mind poison dagger no longer has any poison on it, so it's just a dagger.
Just a mind dagger.
Just a mind dagger. It's just a mind dagger. It's still just a casual, legendary item.
Bitte watches him do that and goes, I could have turned it into a dart for you. A little more range. No, same range. Never mind.
Put a stick on the end of it.
They just
Here we
really love
go.
darts.
I do very much love darts. No, more range for me, I guess. Do I want it? Did I want it? I don't know. Maybe I wanted it on some level. It's fine though.
Is the poison as potent on the arrows as it would be on the?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the same poison, I mean, everything should be functioning the same. The mind poison dagger was, we could say, just made to last a bit longer, but in the process of transferring it over to the 6 arrows, it kind of just broke it. So now it's just a regular old mind dagger. If you stab in the back of somebody's head, you can control them for a few seconds.
Wait, is
Oh.
that it? Does that?
Wait, really?
No, that's just, you can control them as like you stabbed it in the back of
I
their
can
head
steer them.
and you can steer them to the
You
ground.
steer them until they die, which is like 3 seconds later.
Yeah.
I was about to say, like, we can do some shit with that. Like, we can.
Here's the emperor. And don't mind this big hood we put on him, or his blank stare,
Or the fact that one of us has to keep our hand on the back of his head at all times.
Look, it is a new love we have found, and we're very amorous, and asking about it would be pretty rude.
Part of our mating ritual is for me to hold the hand at the back of his head for the next 36 days.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
I guess you could fact check that, but you tried to destroy the planet. I don't think you're very welcome.
As y'all are minding and doing your stuff on the deck or throughout the ship, Crux calls out, just like, "Oh, look!" And as you see, kind of off into the distance, not necessarily coming alongside the ship, but within close enough to cause a good appears these things. God, just go to the token layer. Yeah, a pod
Whales
of space whales. You hear cracks just Kandori, man. Sure would be helpful if we had one of those.
Had one? What?
Oh,
like
I forget y'all spent so much time here in the open space. Yeah, you never heard of the tale of old One-Eyed Jack? He used his back hair to wrestle some Kandori and bring himself back to the Rock of Brawl after his ship was disabled.
his back hair.
He was a very hairy
That's a
man.
great reference. That's a great reference.
Yeah, they're a bit far off. I don't know if anybody else have that long of rope, but I have heard they're pretty attracted to lights. But only the colorful ones. These oil lanterns won't do it. And
Would
he just
that be
kind of
good?
shrugs. Yeah, we could.
Maybe Rosemary could speak to them.
We could definitely get on our way a lot quicker if we had something to bring them closer.
I'm still doing my spell, so I feel like I can't help with this. I don't even know if I'm present for this conversation.
Whatever. I'll cast dancing lights.
Yeah. Rosemary, you're definitely like just sitting at the top underneath Starbow focusing. You hear things, but you're right. You are otherwise just not to say distracted.
Concentrating.
Yes. Yeah, dancing lights. Okay.
I'll make four little lights that do the hot tub roll where they just shift through the spectrum.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely
Beta cast enhance ability to give equal splendor. So they're even more
enhanced, even more bright, even more colorful.
Mm-hmm.
So, with those dancing lights, you catch the attention of two, in fact, smaller a little bit, the stragglers to the pod. As the pod continues on, 2 of the Kandori come close enough that you think you might be able to get something around them. Anybody have any rope?
You can wrestle it.
Yeah. Aim for the
Shit
head.
like this has rope. What?
Beta would have rope. Beta would have at least.
I have 50 feet of hempen rope as well.
Wait. We specifically got like rope and climbing kits.
Yeah.
For the trek up the mountain.
We did. Yes.
So
Yeah.
Levi is standing next to Rosemary, and he's just like, "Rosemary, there are big whales. You should You should talk to them. You should.
Rosemary like looks basically just past the tree directly at the whales and then looks back at Levi. Of like, I would, but I'm kind of doing a spell right now, and also I think Bitte can also talk to animals. Is it an
Yeah.
animal? Is a whale
We'll
an
try and
animal?
fix them in your mind so that you can wild shape into these later.
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't think I can wild shape into something that big.
Yeah.
Just our gargantuan creature, but it's only CR1. No, it's not. It's definitely more than that. It is not an animal. Oh, Bitte. It's your favorite enemy is Celestial, right?
Celestial and monstrosities.
In monstrosity, yeah. Well, you
A
are
celestial monstrosity.
these are gargantuan celestials. So you are yeah. I don't know. They're not. Of course.
Hey!
Let's see.
I hope you don't
Let's
have
take
like
a look at.
anger towards all celestials, right? They're just your favored enemy for some of them.
I mean, yeah, it does. It's not fantasy racism.
Yeah.
It's just there.
They have a
Okay.
challenge rating of 11.
Uh,
Definitely cannot turn into one of these.
Studying.
Levi doesn't know that.
We would all be like Pinocchio and
Understand.
like fly on the inside of Rosemary.
An
Just eat
advantage
us.
on wisdom and intelligence checks about them.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, I think
D&D.
you can just slowly traverse like the space, right? Like if Beta jumps off, like he could like slowly bring himself back.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, because when you jump off, you'll basically just kind of get stuck in the gravity plane, which is effectively just a little bit below main deck. And you just kind of float out. Now, unless something stops you, you will float to the edge of your air envelope, and then you'll be in space, and then you'll die very quickly.
Okay, so I thought
You
it
could
was
tether
like,
yourself.
Yes.
I thought that it was like astral plane, where it's like your intelligence or something you can do. Like you can move like your intelligence speed per round or something.
Yeah, that's the
but-
astral sea, but we're in wild space, so more spacey kind of
Gotcha.
functioning. If you were in the astral sea, yes,
Fascinating.
you can just walk through it, no problem. No air is needed, no time progresses, nobody ages. But when we're in wild space, you have an air envelope, which is very large for this ship. Also, it's very clean because of Starbow. But if you go
Mm.
outside of the air envelope, you get a smaller personal air envelope that lasts like, I'd have to check exactly how long it lasts, but it's like a minute. You get a minute of
Wait a
air
second.
before you suffocate and die.
So Beta ties off a rope and loops it on his belt and kind of drifts out to them and like takes a bit to like commune and like try and like read their emotions and read like kind of what they want and how they can work together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right now, their emotions are all focused on the dancing lights that you only have about a minute of, so you could work quickly. Although I guess it's a cantrip, so you
The
can
cantrip, I can recast
you
it
can
as
recast it.
needed. Yeah.
Yeah, just keep casting it then. Okay, so ignoring that part.
Okay, so if they seem to have like very very simple needs and not like have anything they're in dire need of, and like they like if they just want to chill and look at the lights,
Yeah, they're
I
not
think
like
Beta would call back
they're very
back
Go on.
that for Dell to I guess bring them toward the bow of the ship, and Beta will using the climbing harnesses to try and find like an arrangement that's like a little gentler, so they're not like getting rope rub.
Yeah.
Like put the harnesses around, like we got 4 of them, so go around like 2 of the fins or like their tail. Well, no, the tail probably has a lot up and down, so go around like 2 of their side fins at like the armpits.
Okay, got
And
it.
rig up like little harnesses, little like yokes for the both of them.
I think as Bitte gets close with one of them, I'm just like, Bitte, is that an animal? I think Rosemary knows what most sea creatures are. So like all of the like jellyfish and whales and things that we've met out here, it's like Rosemary lived in a druid's grove in the mountains.
Yeah.
Nowhere near an ocean.
What is
Is
an
is
aquarium?
there is there a check BT could make to determine if they could be allocated to a line animal?
You know them not to be an animal. Given
Okay.
you understand them to be celestial creatures, not only from your past experience with wild space through the Yetis, but also from your favorite enemy. In fact, as you're doing your harness, I'm gonna need a wisdom animal handling check with advantage because they are your favorite enemies, and you think you had said you get all advantage on all wisdom checks against
So
him.
the wisdom is survival.
Oh, okay. All right then, just a
Animal
regular
handling.
animal handling check.
Could I get a help action from Dell? Dell's
Yeah,
distracted.
I'll move the lights, kind of, bring them in, and then I'll move the lights to the side so the creature turns. So it's got
Mhm.
its side towards him, and then I'll slide it the other way. And
Yeah, that works out perfectly. Yeah, Delnadre is maneuvering the lights that you're not really fighting or having to go around the Kandori. It's moving almost in unison to like where you need. It's like, okay, now I need to fasten the right fin. It rotates off to the side, and you're able to easily. Almost doesn't even notice that you're trying to put this harness on, but it is aware of you. It's not unaware of its surroundings to that point, and it is going to need a slight check before really just to see if it's gonna get to a point where it doesn't like what's happening anymore. So give me that animal handling check with the help action on it. So it is good to
Is a
go.
21.
Excellent.
Heck
So
yeah.
you were able to. Do you try to get both or just one?
Uh, I'll try to get both.
Okay. Roll me another one. This one with advantage though, because once one Kandori sees, oh, I guess you already have advantage from the from the help. This one with double advantage.
super advantage.
Oh no!
No, you said double advantage. You said double advantage. That's one
I-
more roll. That is a 13.
Yeah, so 13 isn't enough though, unfortunately. So as you get one and it's distracted by the lights, the other one, as you move towards it and start to put the harness on, just doesn't like what's happening. It doesn't angrily push you off, but it floats too far away that your rope is unable to get the harness off. So the other
He passive
Kandori,
aggressively rebuffs me.
yeah, he's just like, no.
He's like,
Okay,
nah.
thanks. I just love the double fail though.
Okay, bye.
Just like from a really great roll to just yeah, you
That's a deep oof.
like when you're petting one cat and the other cat's just sitting there, no problem, and then you move to that cat and it's like, nah, fuck you are.
It's like, no, I'm here to observe, not here to actually be pet.
Not an active participator in this. So the Kandori B moves on a bit further and starts to progress towards rejoining the pod. Kandori A, the one that we have secured, is also following along, and Crux, just, well, I guess we're moving, but not moving in the right way. We need to go that way, and he kind of just points off in the opposite direction. The tower we're headed for, not along their migration path. We're gonna have to do something to lead them in the right direction.
Dancing lights has a range of 120 feet.
All right.
Just kind of spin it in a circle.
I'll try to get the lights in front of their eyes and move them around, carrot on a stick them.
Do you have any way? You have a way to telepathically communicate with things, right? Of course you do.
Yes.
So you can get advantage on this next check. You are going to also need an animal handling check that you can get advantage as you send out your mind waves to get it to understand where you want it to go beyond just following the lights. So
Okay.
you kind of like tell it to follow the lights versus it just following them because it's interested for this time. So give me that
That's good,
check.
because that was not with advantage, but that was pretty good.
All right, good.
Very nice.
19. Well done. You
The
are
other one
able
was
to,
not as good, so 19.
yeah, you're able to get it to alter its course, and it doesn't take it takes a little bit of a time. In fact, the jammer scream comes back into its effect falls off well before you reach the tower, and you start to see the ship's
Our
processes.
pilot is still a little incapacitated, though, I assume.
She is, yes. She has not fully recovered. So unless somebody else wants
Is that
to,
something? Yeah, we could
you can
have someone else attuned to this thing.
Yes, if you wish, you may attune.
I think we discussed Levi because Levi has previous experience with sailing.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the only requirement for attuning to a spelljammer is the ability to cast a spell,
Yes, a spell.
and Levi can cast light. Was what we determined.
Yes, this is true.
It is my one spell.
Your one spell.
So, Levi, would you like to take it up and attune to the spell jamming helm?
Yeah. I think he would enjoy doing that.
All right.
I think BT just kind of rides on the for most of the way now.
So you attune to it
He's just doing stuff.
like you would attune to anything else. You just have to go and sit in the chair and open your mind and let it accept you. Like we saw in the movie.
Very romantic relationship with this chair.
As that is described to me, Levi would sit in the chair and then just like put his hands on his head in an effort to try to open his mind, whatever that means.
Yeah, you kind of just
Sorry, kid.
No, yeah, well, I mean, basically, yeah, like you just kind of sit down and close your eyes, and before you know it, you are transported to kind of a little verdant, like a verdant meadow, really overgrown. Floor is grass, but it kind of feels hard, like a solid wood deck underneath it. There's a slight sway to the meadow, even though it's a meadow. You feel very at home, like you kind of have those memories of being back on the ship. And who but anybody else appears to you except your great-grandfather?
Oh no.
Levi! He calls out as he walks through the edge of the meadow, just pushing plant life back and branches that slap him in the face. Levi, what is it down there? Where are we?
Oh, I was hoping to avoid this. No disrespect, of course. Please, I'm trying to do something here.
Yeah, what do you think I'm here for? To do the thing that you're trying to do. I'm your mental image of.
No, I don't want to involve you in this, please.
Well, too bad. I'm here. Were you gonna push away your subconscious?
Fine.
Just walks up to you and he kind of kicks you over as well. I'm assuming you're just like kind of sitting there. He just like pushes you over. What are you doing?
Rude.
I'm attuning to the helm of an astral spaceship.
No,
what
is all this? He just kind of like goes around. What happened to your calling? What happened to your people?
I'm following my calling. I'm trying to save our world.
Save our world. We're not heroes. We're military men. Defense of our nation. Are they not back there fighting off crystal vines? Men perishing left and right? That's where you belong.
So you're saying I should have stayed, died, instead of going to solve the problem at its core?
You could have solved the problem back there on the seas. Instead, you found yourself in the icy north. You're far from your calling, from the calling I had for you.
I was trying to help. I thought I was doing what was right.
Right and wrong. There is no right and wrong in the world. It's a bunch of gray.
You're one to talk.
I'm you. Ish.
You always think you know what's right, but you don't.
And what is right, Levi?
Helping people, solving problems, traveling where I'm needed, not staying in one place. I can't just wait for problems to come to me. I have to go find problems to solve.
So being a vagrant, then.
Oh my.
Never having a home. Grandmother was just set upon herself when you left. I don't know if she was alive when you left either.
She was.
Okay. Like,
Your ancestors were upset.
Yeah.
Basically.
Your granddaughter had to become a cross-dresser.
My calling wasn't there. My calling was out in the world, helping people.
You're a sailor. Our nation is sailors. We're masters of the sea, and this is not a sea.
It's an astral sea, it counts. I'm going to captain this ship. I'm going to help my friends eliminate the threat of the astral elves who are causing the vines in the first place.
Yeah? What if I say no?
What are you going to do? Stop me?
Yeah. I'm going to keep you here forever. Never will you awake again.
Then you can take my powers. I don't need them anymore.
Do you think you're enough?
If that's what I must do to help my friends, then yes.
Good. I was fearful that you had relied on this fancy ancestry that we have. That you've lost the true grit that I instilled upon my son and wanted him to instill upon his grandson.
I took enough beatings to never forget. Thank you.
How terrible is his grandfather?
I don't know. You're him.
You're him.
Yeah, but anyways, the grandfather kind of just he
What, you think planetars are gentle teachers?
he's just he just fades away, and you open your eyes. You find yourself having this weird new awareness of the ship. At a moment's notice, you can cast yourself deep into the cargo hold or listen to what is being whispered in the captain's quarters. It feels like pins and needles as these new sensations kind of extend out from yourself. When you stand up from the chair, a lot of it kind of goes back into your mind, but you can still call upon it as long as you're within the ship itself. But you can truly feel it being a deep extension of yourself as you sit in the chair. Oh, you are a little princess.
That was
Oh,
the
you are a
single
ballerina.
cutest sound. I've
Oh,
ever heard.
Levi's a little princess.
Princess.
Oh,
Daddy got it.
that is very cute.
My heart.
Take a picture.
Yeah, ballerina shoes. Yes. This is the first time I've seen them, and they look like they fit snugly, which means you will grow out of them in a very short amount of time, huh?
Next week.
Next week.
One of those situations where you put something on once, just so we can say that we wore it. Before you grow out of it. Alright, where's
To
Mommy?
be fair, ballerina shoes need to be replaced a lot anyway.
Black one. Okay, go to
I know
Mommy.
mine did.
Go find Mommy. Oh, there you are. I'll be right back, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody take a break.
How selfish.
Family man.
I thought this was supposed to be our time.
So I love the, like, you think planetars are gentle teachers? It's like, no, that's a grandfather who'll whoop your butt.
Yeah.
It's kind of Old
Come
Testament.
over here, boy. You're about to get a celestial whooping.
Literally.
Smite.
Oh, the tip of your sword dropped an inch because you're tired from this 3 hours of training. Time to beat your ass.
Clearly, you've never been spanked with a divine smite before.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
What? Oh my goodness. Okay, so yes, Levi, you find yourself in control of the second wind. You are now the new Spelljammer. So, ship being back to 100% functionality. At this point, Starbow or Rosemary, you are complete with your plant growth ritual. Starbow is luscious in his mane. New growths of green have sprouted up everywhere. All the roots you might see on the screen have little bits of, like little sproutlings, mini trees all around.
You look vibrant, Starbow.
There's no reason for this to be the case, but when you describe him as luscious, I was just instantly like, so she turned him into a drag queen.
Oh my goodness.
Definitely, like, from what was a modestly dressed Starbow to something that's going out onto the like Las Vegas strip. Like, I'm ready to show the world who I am. But
Is Starbow wearing clothes, or is this just like metaphorical?
It's all metaphorical. Well, you
Starbow is now as luscious as poison ivy. Okay.
Yeah.
It's serving coniferous.
Yeah.
Got evergreen vibes.
Could Beta have taken like the time taken to like commune and that stuff? Could Beta have taken that time to attempt to commune with the astral whale in order to like understand celestial beasts the way that he understands it, which is a simplified understanding.
Yeah, I mean, you could. I guess what kind of understanding are you hoping to gain from this? Anything specific about Kendori? Are you looking for a better understanding of just the celestials that exist here in wild space by observing it?
Yeah, so I think he's trying to. I think what he's trying to do is like observe what the difference. This creature that he recognizes as fully celestial, but similar in bearing to the beasts of the world, and to try and understand the differences in their need they communicate. Basically, I I would like to be able to use my primeval what's the actual name of the feature? The
Awareness?
natural.
Primeval awareness?
I think this is natural. Nope, not natural explorer. Yeah, it is primeval awareness, where he can communicate like through sounds and gestures, simple ideas, and like get a read for mood, emotional state, and if it's magically effective.
Okay.
Basically, to apply that to like celestial beasts, but only like celestial beasts, like beasts, so like a fucking unicorn. You'd be like, that's a lot like a horse, but with this difference. Maybe I can communicate some shit with that. Like it wouldn't work like, I don't know, like a seraphim, like something weird and eldritch in its gel.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Is that a word? I don't know. Am I using it? Yes.
You definitely are able to, and not only just because of that, like yourself, but also with assistance of Delnadre at points during this time, given his telepathic link with the Kendori, to help you like trial and error, like your ability to read its basic mood. It's like, and you're able to double check it against Delnadre. You're like, am I right? Yes. Am I wrong? Yes. Stuff like that. Yeah. I'd say you're able to have a better understanding of Kendori itself, and a vaguely better understanding of the celestial nature of things here in wild space. Whereas previously you might have looked
I
at...
could have said I was trying to learn Elvish. That would have been more useful. But this is cool. This is cool.
That's right. That's okay. Yeah, this is something you guys only get a small moment of time to be able to do. So, I mean, because the Kendori's... Well, I guess we get to the point where your ship is back functional again. Do y'all release the Kendori, or are you keeping it captive?
We can't cage such a beautiful creature.
What's the Kendori want to do?
Wants to go back to its pod.
Yeah.
Hang
Whales
on.
are very social creatures.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Uh,
don't want to keep it away from its like calling.
So yeah. Well then,
actually, so as we finish up, and we kind of reach that point, Beta's like had like it's my normal weekend alarm. Had a chance to
That's
like
what
commune with
celestial
it.
sounds like.
Yeah, it's the sound the whale makes.
I honestly honestly it does sort of sound like a weird tech dolphin or something.
yeah.
Um, I think after all this, like Beta kind of comes around and he begins he like comes to the harness and begins in celestial. Thank you for this. Thank you for this time and for because I realize I get to
Oh
speak
shit, you
Celestial now.
guys speak celestial?
I speak celestial now.
The whale's just
Oh.
like, we could have been talking. What?
I don't know if they can speak. I know they definitely have. I don't know if I mean I would assume they can speak Celestial. Let me see here. They do not have any languages.
Well, regardless, he speaks to it in celestial. To like
You can speak
similar
to
to
it.
like in Lord of the Rings when they horses.
Speak Elvish to the
Like-
horse.
Yeah, but those horses can speak Elvish. Isn't that canon that
Can
they
they?
actually can speak?
Is it?
Do they talk back, or do they just like?
No, I don't think
they're like,
the
"Oh, I
horses can
understand."
understand Elven, but they don't. They can't.
Okay,
speak it.
gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean
There's like a horse breaking out in full Elvish speech.
didn't put that in the movies.
That's the Arwen fanfic.
Just a freaking talking
the
horse
people
in the
demand.
middle, like Return of the King. You and my hoof, but actually, it's not Return of the King. Fellowship of the Ring.
Just like look, guys, y'all got to attention right now. Like just give him the necklace.
Brago showing up like, "Hey guys, I could talk the whole time."
You can put the ring on my hoof. Yeah. So yeah, no, you
Yeah.
express...
Did any of them just think of putting it in a bag?
No.
No one had
It's-
to wear it on their neck.
It's Trixie.
Put it on a horse. Put the horse in a cage.
Yeah. Put the cage in on the back of a troll and just walk all the way.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
The
no. Like if
transitive
you got
property.
if you got one real tall guy, and then you locked a halfling in a box.
You know, it's like the conversation. People were like, okay, so whoever carries the ring feels a lot of bad shit. They're very influenced by it. That's why it sucks so much for Frodo.
Mhm.
But Sam was able to carry Frodo with no problem. So obviously that doesn't carry through. So just put the ring on like a mouse, put that in your pocket, and then you're fine.
To the
Yeah.
elves, I feel like their equivalent of that was just giving the ring to the hobbits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mice and rats have
That's already their plan.
mice and rats have cartilaginous skeletons. Thus, you can just jam that fucking ring on. Like, yeah, it'll be uncomfortable. Yeah, you'll face like animal cruelty, but guess what? That rat's gonna die when the darkness falls.
And just chunk the rat into Mount Mordor. Don't even take it off. Just throw the whole thing in.
Hobbits already have like a little bit of resistance because Frodo carried that thing for a very long time and was like comparatively mostly okay. And then Sam like carried it for like maybe a day when he thought Frodo was dead and was okay.
Yeah, no, it's also like you say that just chunk the rat into, and you say that the halflings kind of were like the rats. That is sort of what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is sort of
just
what they
throw the whole hobbit in
Maybe
there.
it was not so different from a hobbit one.
All right.
That was
Anyway.
slightly too British. That was slightly too British
Too British.
for.
So-
You gotta
for
get like the
Elijah
New
Wood.
Zealand accent.
What? Wait. The hobbits didn't have New Zealand. Don't you do? They didn't have New Zealand accents, right?
I don't think so. They just
Okay,
filmed
I
it
was
in New
like,
Zealand.
don't you do that to me? Don't
Crikey,
you do?
crikey, mate.
Don't you hit me with? I never realized. Because I was just thinking about like, oh wait, why are Merry and Pippin they've grown up in the town where American have been British, and then Sam is a little,
I
but
feel like they
Frodo's just like, ah. And Bilbo. Wait.
Bilbo Baggins.
Martin Sheen.
Short.
What's his last name? Martin.
I don't
Martin
think it's
Short.
Martin
But it's a
Short.
different. I would love to see the Martin match. Hobbit.
Martin Luther King. Martin something.
Martin
No,
Luther.
Martin. The guy from the Hobbit movie. He's
The
British.
Sherlock guy.
He puts on a mostly American accent. accent. And then they have Sam, who is definitely American, put on this accent.
Mr. Frodo.
Look, I don't know what I know what's happening.
Just everybody else has
I don't know what's
gotten a
happening
close up,
in
and it's not time.
Look, the Hobbit linguistic scene is fascinating, but yeah, so I speak in Celestial to this fucking whale.
Oh yeah,
And
And then we
anyway.
let it go.
Yeah, and we let it go. The Kindori remembers your kind. You can tell it took what you said, your feelings, to heart. They are the elephants of the sea. They will remember what happened here.
Kandori will remember
One
that.
of those like Kindori will remember that.
Yeah.
Final scene, we're escaping the exploding empire. The whales show up to carry us away.
Looks at Space Whale.
Hey.
I shall name you Sea Elephant.
I definitely did not write that down. That's for sure. That's not what's happening here. But we continue on. It's gonna take a few more days to reach the tower of travel through this wild space system. But you make quick time, and you are able to arrive at the tower unharmed and unbothered by anything else. Bitte, you learn a bit more Elvish on the way, as well as getting a bit more of your gear crafted. Delnadre, you get to work on...
I'm practicing with a longbow.
Yes,
with
that's what I was saying.
Bitte.
You are working better on your longbow. You're getting pretty close. I'd say one more practice session, we can give you that expertise that you're looking... Expertise? No.
Proficiency.
Proficiency, yeah.
I'll take expertise with a longbow.
Just like skip proficiency straight into
Straight into expertise.
yeah. Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
turns out I'm really good at this.
Rosemary, I imagine you spent your time focusing on pruning and ensuring proper growth on all of the plant growth that you spurred into motion on Starbound. And probably spending a bit more time getting to know him as well. And Levi...
Yeah, like hanging out with the tree. I also, just to put it out there, because y'all were like, oh, let's check our inventories. I have a wand of web that is slightly charred, and it says it doesn't recharge until I can get it fixed. So I wonder, can I talk with, like, my friends and be like, does anyone know how to, like, get this thing fixed?
As far as people on the boat, none of the crew members have any sort of experience in that, but maybe one of the party members wants to take that up. Does anybody have identify? Well, we already know what it is. You don't need identify.
I believe I
I know what it is, we just need to fix it.
Right.
I have proficiency with wood/bone.
Bitte could fix the physical aspect of it, which is important, and I would think Delnadre could work on the magical aspect of it.
I'm newly practicing with magical tinkering.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you want, you could use this as like a pet project.
Question.
Yeah.
Can Rosemary cast the spell?
The spell web?
Yeah.
Let me see. Can I?
Is that a druid spell?
I think druids
feel
can.
like it
What
should be.
level is web?
I think it's second level.
Two. I think it's a second level.
I'm not seeing it in my spell list.
It is second level conjuration, and it is not a druid spell,
Yeah, it's not a druid spell.
which
I was
makes
gonna say,
very
if it's-
little sense.
I think it's
Is it because it's conjuring and it's not a real web?
Druids aren't scary. Druids don't do scary.
Well, it
Druids
is.
can just
So
turn
it's
into a spider.
it's one of the specific land druids can cast it.
Okay.
The
so-
circle of the Underdark circle of the land gets it added to their spell list, but
Oh. Plus, it's not necessarily that the webbing
I think it overlaps a lot with Entangle,
Yeah.
probably in the design space, and they were like, that's more of a druid thing.
Yeah, and just because it says web doesn't mean it is a spider web, right? It's just webbing. So it could be more like sticky glue, if anything else. So there we go. All right, so no, she cannot cast it.
Is it on the potential rangers?
It is not, no.
Okay.
It is artificer, sorcerer, wizard.
Gotcha.
Entangle
Yeah,
is on the ranger spell list, right?
Beta will happily like getting the part of it repaired, like with some of like the pruning that you're doing, like takes like may I just flavor this
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go.
how well it works there. So Beta goes and he takes some of the thin like the like fresh growth, but like in places that didn't need to be, and he takes his little saw, you know, from the prunings he takes like the live green wood, and he takes some like gathered welling sap and kind of talks to the tree. Is there some more sap from it? And he takes some sap, and he takes like the green willow and around like the char. He takes he like strips some of the thin, wraps carefully around it to like bond in the wood in a spiral fashion up the wand, and then binding it in carefully, and moving it together in a spiral up of the wand. So with the intention being to like have contact through the bits of it that are uncharred, have a continuous connection to the charred, damaged bits.
Okay.
And so in the end, it gives kind of like this like thing, and it's covered. And he's like, to put BB powder over that. Sounds
Sorry,
good,
you keep
maybe.
cutting out.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
It was previously a little bit, but now it seems like it is
A lot.
happening a lot. Like every
Okay,
sentence you have, it stops. I don't know.
Testing. Better.
Better. Yeah.
fine.
Better.
So far.
Okay, I've got like an ox
Super
score.
better.
Gotcha.
It might just be like
Okay,
a slightly more enunciation because I think the noise canceling keeps cutting off when you go quiet.
That's what I was thinking.
It may. Yeah, no, my voice was in a deeper, quieter register there. So yeah, so he wraps the greenwood in a spiraling fashion, bonding it with sap, into like a spirally thing that connects the undamaged parts to the parts, up along the length, and continues it with the intention that once like the magic is sorted, the magic will be able to travel up along the spiral from the undamaged parts, rather than having to deal with the damage itself. And he does it. He coats it. He takes like shellac, puts it at the top. And he says, maybe keep it away from open flame. But
I'll do my best.
All right. So now the newly repaired, but still not completely fixed, wand of web is in Delnadre's care. Delnadre, are you able to fix it at this time, or will it require a bit more time?
Well, I don't know. I guess that's up to you.
I don't know if artificers have like specific mechanics for like fixing magical items. Like they can create stuff, but like can they fix stuff?
Right. So I guess at the point, could you create something of similar power to Wand of Web?
I cannot.
wait, is Del an artificer?
I am a level 1 artificer
Oh shit.
of our most recent level up.
Oh hell
With your
No, I don't
6?
have second level spell slots at this point, so I could not create something like this. Whether I can, piggyback off of the magic that's already in it, because I'm not fully recreating it. Hopefully, it's more of
Right.
like a repair.
Okay. I'll
So
give you an
it might be
opportunity.
doable, but
It is doable, but you recognize even in your early journey here into artificing that there is a potential for it to your repairs to basically break it. So it'll be a roll. It'll be a hard
Beta
roll
will enhance ability.
because you
I
don't
think
have
it's
the
Fox's name.
because you don't have the ability to create a level 2. Like if you had the ability to create a level 2, then it is very simple. You understand. But because you can't do it, but you would be piggybacking and you have the ability to create a level 1 magical item, right? Or
yeah, I've got first level spell slots, so I
right.
could.
So not
I
too
I will
far
also
off.
add a
with that.
guidance to whatever roll you do.
Okay.
I'm also like, we can also, if we want, wait, and you can like hold on to this and we can fix it when we're ready. I just remembered that I had it and was like, hey, should we do something with this?
Yeah.
I think that would be a few levels though.
Maybe 2. I guess you have the level 3 in Artificer to get second level spell slots.
And by then we will forget about it because that's like we're
Yeah.
all ADD here.
Yeah,
I
100%.
definitely think you should take the risk of it doing now, but yes, you could hold on to it and do it when you leveled up, and it wouldn't take a roll. It would just be something you get to do.
I mean, I haven't used it yet, so like, if it breaks, no harm, no foul.
If it breaks, we never knew it. We never knew it existed before this moment, anyways.
It's like we've just full on forgot that I had it.
So if you wish to make the roll, it'll be an Arcana check
You have
with guidance.
with enhanceability and
And-
guidance.
It was a disadvantage, so we will give him regular advantage, or rather regular roll, right? With
Okay.
enhanceability. What is
A
enhanced?
regular roll plus a d4.
Yes. All right.
What was the check?
Arcana.
Arcana.
Right? Is that? I mean, that's what artificers would use to build a thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be or tool set.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I think
either
that would
either
be-
that
yeah,
or
yeah.
just a straight like a tool check if you wanted.
If the tool check allows to be an Arcana check.
Do you have
Tool.
a tinkering set that you're proficient
I'm proficient with Tinker's tools, and I think, yes, I do have Tinker's tools. I believe I cobbled together a set of random tools that I stole from well, not so much stole, but appropriated from our Hadozi mechanic on the
Yes.
ship.
with?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I would say, I guess you roll intelligence with the tools and add guidance to it.
Okay, Tinker's tools, use the tool. I'm using intelligence, and I am proficient with these. It's a 14.
Plus a d4.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, plus
okay.
D4.
I'll say, damn, but you with
Hey!
through
18.
Rosemary's guidance, you are able to get the wand of web functioning correctly. You even can tell as it sits in your hand as it starts to repower itself, gaining its lost magic that had once been affected by the charring. So now you have.
Oh,
a
I
wand
think
of
it's
web.
working. Everybody covered in web.
Ah!
Is web flammable?
Yes.
Yes.
Canonically, yes. Mechanically.
Yes.
Mechanically, they in the spell they're like, if you set the web on fire, it does this much damage.
Yeah. Okay. Well, luckily we weren't anywhere where there was an open flame. Hopefully,
Oh
we
my
weren't anywhere
god.
there was open flame.
Web spell just as an excuse to add damage to a ball.
So,
Add
It
damage
doesn't
to
even
what?
matter if people say
add damage. Yeah, add damage to what? A fall?
a fireball.
Oh,
Yeah.
and to make sure they don't leave the fireball. Hey, stay there.
Well, they wouldn't be. Oh, well, it would give them disadvantage on the.
It's like
Yep.
web
Yeah, on the decks.
fireball.
Oh my god, wombo combo in.
Wombo combo. Does anyone want this wand? Like, does anyone particularly need it?
I wouldn't mind something that allows for a bit more non-strikey utility.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
It does say needs attunement by a spellcaster, but I think you have spells, right?
I cast a spell to. Yeah,
I mean, you literally just cast enhance ability, so I'm like, I don't know why I'm asking this.
Yeah.
I am one of those.
Are you sure
You're one
you
of
can
those.
handle this?
I just spoke to a space whale. It
Yeah.
did not speak back. I spoke to it. It is a very specifically accurate statement.
Rosemary the druid who can just do that. It's like, yeah,
It's
so
fine.
can everybody.
Yes.
Wait. Does Rosemary have
Yeah.
celestial?
Could I hear the space whale or no? Because it was celestial.
No, because it was celestial. Well, I mean, you could hear it, yes, because it just made sounds and didn't speak celestial at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So my beast speech probably didn't work.
I love
Yeah,
the
no.
I love the layers of like oh, that doesn't technically. Well, it doesn't technically. Well, also Beta wasn't.
I mean, yeah, but
It's great.
You were speaking to it in celestial, and it really just picked up on your intent and your meaning. It did not remember any words. You're gonna come back, and it's gonna be like, bring. Oh yes, remembered my calling. So we with all that aside, and Levi, you are focusing on some celestialness. Do you take some time in this time? How do you explore your powers of being a spelljammer now?
That's a good question. Is there like a? I guess I could have been googling this whole time, but I just like went into disassociation.
Is there an instruction manual for this?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Like, is there a? You know what? I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, so you
Jamming for dummies.
You basically get to use the ship to travel through space, and as long as there's nothing within a mile of it, you can travel 100 million miles in 24 hours. You can go light speed.
How many?
100 million miles in 24 hours. So long as you you're basically, I mean, it's pretty easy, but as long as there's no random encounters along the road, you get to fast travel.
Warp speed.
Yes, and that is what the whatchamacallit, the Nautiloid did when it left the planet. You can steer the vessel, albeit in a clumsy fashion, in much of the way that a rudder or oar could be used to maneuver a seafaring ship. And at any time you can see and hear what's happening around the vessel as if you were standing in any location of choice upon it.
Fair enough. I think.
Oh, and you can transfer the attunement to a willing spellcaster instantly.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Mr. Delnadre, you have the helm.
I should say, you only get those options when you are sitting in the chair.
Fair enough. Then I think he spends a majority of the travel time just sitting in it. And he obviously we're trying to get somewhere. So I mean, we'd be going pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he'll maneuver the ship through space, practicing different turns, slowly, safely, making sure that we're not running into stuff. And then he'll just randomly extend his mind and kind of bamf in and out of different rooms, just to sort of practice the sort of hearing and seeing.
Okay.
But I can't really communicate through it, huh? I can't just bamf into a room and say something and then vanish.
No,
it's just hearing.
You're basically astral projecting yourself there. Yeah, no. The Flump last time was using telepathic speak to do most of its communication throughout the ship.
Well, that's convenient because guess what I can do?
Hey.
Speak telepathically.
Yeah.
What's the range on your telepathy with that crystal?
That's a really good question. I think it's just the range of the telepathy spell. So let me look up the telepathy.
If I remember, I think it changed based on your intelligence modifier.
This is
hold on.
the crystal we got back from the skull crystal.
The
I think-
side crystals.
Did you give us a little? Did you give us a little sheet for it? I feel like you did.
I want to say yes, but it's probably in the other game because
Oh,
it's
I've got it.
yeah. What's your intelligence score?
These are the real questions that I'm not too proud about. 10.
10.
You
So,
got
30
30
feet.
feet.
30 feet. So not throughout the whole ship. You are standing on the. You can go up and down, I imagine, but you can't really get much further out than the captain's quarters. You really gotta.
I mean, I could go up. I could go down.
Yeah, you could go up and down, so you can speak to Starbow, and he could
We're
shout.
just having a full telepathic conversation the whole time.
No, he
Oops.
doesn't. He doesn't speak back as much. He thinks that's a lot of work. It's just like
Rosemary's
Okay.
hanging out with Starbow, so you can talk with Rosemary if you want.
Here's how this goes.
Uh,
For a majority of the time, Levi is talking to Starbow telepathically, but he actually doesn't realize that he's doing it. He's just kind of like, you know, when you voice everything you do out loud to
Yes.
yourself?
Yes.
He's doing that, but he has accidentally telepathically connected with Starbow.
Okay.
Just like internal monologue directly into Starbow.
Like
Yeah.
the second day, Starbow is just like, is there a reason we're doing this? And you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Am I not on mute?
Yeah.
You can hear this?
I definitely think Starbow wouldn't say anything. He just let you talk, and he'd just be like, okay. You might every now and then just hear him sigh, but because you're just right below him, you don't realize that he's
Sighing mentally?
to you.
He sighs a lot, so it doesn't really seem all that out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
I also want to do some experiments of my own.
Okay.
So while Levi's sitting on the chair, I'm just gonna kind of be in the room and then look over at him, and I'll reach out. I'm gonna like tickle the wall behind me. Does he react?
He just looks at you and he says, "What are you doing?"
Testing hull integrity.
It seems pretty sound.
Uh-huh.
Wait, do you think I can feel that?
I don't know. No, I mean,
Why are you gently
You-
caressing and stroking the wood, Delnadre?
it's fine craftsmanship. I can appreciate a well-grown ship.
Okay. Well, I'll leave you to it.
All right.
That asteroid kind of looks like a butt.
Wait, hold on, slow down.
The ship
Wait, we gotta see
grinds
this
to a
the
halt.
butt asteroid.
The asteroid. Yep. There is.
Attention, crew members. Off the port bow, you can witness an asteroid that kind of looks like a butt.
We all take selfies.
That is
with it.
all.
Crux brings out his camera. Like, wonderful. The little imp inside starts to get to drawing. Little picture
It's
box.
a living.
Is that what cameras are here? They're just little boxes with an imp that draws.
Yeah. I
Yes.
mean, how else was gonna have a camera?
It's just
I love
Flintstone
that.
technology.
It's just small creatures with photographic memories that are.
We all
fed
head
a
down to the
treat.
bottom of the boat, stick our feet out, and start paddling so we can get moving again.
Okay. Yeah. So because we are flying through like an asteroid-ridden area, you aren't able to take advantage of the light speed. So it does take a good amount of time. It took 3 days to get to where you were trying to go. But finally, we arrive. A crooked tower perches atop a small asteroid, surrounded by a cloud of twinkling cosmic dust. Through his spyglass, Crux examines the rock upon which the tower stands, and the decrepit wooden pier that juts out from one side. "Mr. Flinch," he says. The Hadozi comes to attention, quickly scrambling to get to hear the order. "Ready the jolly." "Righto, Captain." And he goes down to I imagine the second deck, the one below the crew deck, where there is some little outjuttings, things he can kind of lift open. and push out a jolly boat. And let us go to the tower. Boop.
Let's all go to the tower. Let's all go to the tower.
Let's all go to the
Lighting
tower.
beyond there. There we go. All right.
Get ourselves a treat.
Welcome to the tower.
Also, just to confirm, we're level 6, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We're
All
not
Look
right.
at this
level-
kooky thing.
That's what it says on my sheet, so I assume that's what we're rolling with.
Welcome to Tapa's Tower.
Tapas?
Tapas?
Sorry,
Do you
not
want to do
tapas.
tapas?
They got tapas here?
They got tapas?
Croc says Tapolas.
Tapas.
Pull
Tapala.
us away.
It's Tapala.
We already cut it loose.
Tapala's Tower.
You can't pull us in.
They're gonna top all of us? That's new.
Move this one to token layer. There we go. All right, so that's the gravity plane. The ship approaches, but because Crux kind of looks and he's like, yeah, we need a jolly because if we bring the second wind too close to that rickety old dock, I'm sure we'll crush it to smithereens. And so, you all hop on the jolly boat.
I know we've been over this so many times, Crux, but forgive me, Levi is just not understanding. Why are we here? What purpose does this tower serve?
Yes, that's right. It's been such a long time on our journey. We completely forgot. We're here
Yeah,
for
it's
a
been
map.
like 4 days.
Yeah. We're here for a map.
I've been
remember?
so focused on learning how to steer the ship, I forgot what we're doing with our lives.
Y'all, the party is here to get a map of Doom Space because that is where Crux was aware that there is a an alliance, a resistance forming to take it to the Xarxian Empire. And when Crux heard that you all wanted to take him down, well, he thought we might as well join up on the people that are getting ready to do that. So he doesn't have any idea how to get there, though. So he needs, or rather, he has an idea of how to get to Doom Space. But once you're in Doom Space, you can't just wander around aimlessly. You need to know where you're going. Otherwise, you will spend your lifetime trying to figure out which planet is which.
Yeah, don't let the cuddly name fool you. Doom
Yeah.
Space can be difficult.
Yeah. So that is why you are here. Topala has maps. She is well known for her understanding and expertise when it comes to navigating the wild space, and is the first stop for Crux on many adventures when he goes someplace unknown.
Hell yeah, top of the towers.
Yeah.
Look at this kooky little Dr. Seuss living room.
So does anybody? Is anybody staying on the ship, or are we all going to the tower?
All to the tower.
All to the tower.
We
I feel
all
like
go
the
to
fact
the
that there's a
tower.
combat map is like we should probably all be here, but
Yes, good.
but also, is anyone are any of the NPCs staying on the boat?
Flinch is gonna lower y'all down. Crux is gonna be the only person that hops onto the boat. Do you wish to call upon any NPCs to join you?
No.
I think it's good to have like a good NPC crew on the boat just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to accidentally lose NPC crew and then have to work on our own ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the Hadozi, at the moment you leave, get to deep cleaning the ship, and buffing everything and just doing. You start to hear them sing their cultural songs as they work. And the
Hey, up she rises.
and Fel Ardra, that's her name. Fel still taking it a little bit easy. Hasn't fully recovered from the blood loss, considering there really.
I think in between pruning the ship, Rosemary would go check on her, make sure she's getting enough fluids, general medicine things.
Yeah. Being that it is a ship, she got a bit too much rum as her fluids. She kind of got a bit of a confidence crisis, especially no longer being the Spelljammer and not really feeling like wanting to take back her position as she saw Levi spending so much time trying to learn it. And so she's just like, well, I guess I'll still get paid and you know.
Hey,
Yeah.
babe. So
I
the
got a
rum,
loop.
you are a lightweight right now because you don't have a lot of blood. So just kind of keep that in mind. As you get shit faced.
And she just throws the bottle at you. No! She screams as it pours onto the floor.
Cool. That seems healthy. I'll talk to you later.
She like rips a small sapling that has grown through the bed. Just she
Oh
pulls
god, she's drank so much she's forgotten all of her pirate swears.
pulls all of her like bundles, all the blankets she has over, and just. But as y'all are floating away on the jolly, which I don't know if I have a little thing for a jolly. I wonder if I do. Let's see if I can see it. As
Where
you
do
are
you get your jollies?
floating away, there's a bunch of stuff that mentions jollies, but no little things. Y'all approach the dock. You can see her still with her blanket bundles peering out over the main deck as you all approach. Crux has positioned himself proudly on the bow. He is doing the George Washington pose, pointing to the dock that's only a mere 40, 50 feet in front of you. I'm sorry, 100 feet in front of you. So you slowly roll. The jolly requires rows, and Crux is not helping. Who is? We got some oar. Y'all are working the oars as you row yourself.
Levi will row.
Okay, Levi will row. Because it's only Levi rowing, it goes slow.
Oh, I said I'd help.
Okay. Rosemary will also help.
So we've literally got like 3 of the strongest people in the universe here.
So as y'all
Beta stands with 1 foot up, Captain Morganing on the prow.
Next to-
So you
Next
have
to
2
Crux.
George Washingtons on the prow.
I've heard that this is what you do on a boat. People are
Yes.
rowing.
This
You
is
do
this is what we
You
live
look-
for.
You look majestic, Bitte.
Dale looks a
Don't
little
always.
disappointed, and if he thinks no one is looking, he's going to kind of Captain Morgan on the back of the boat for a little bit. There's just not enough room on front with 2 big creatures up there.
It was like, Del, do you want shotgun on the way back?
Yeah, it's, we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Is that what that's called? Shotgun is just like on a boat is just like being able to be in the front doing the Captain Morgan pose.
Yes.
I feel like
that or the Titanic.
ADHD compulsion for facts. Are y'all familiar with the shotgun?
Familiar with
Or
what?
who's within earshot?
Familiar with the origin of the term riding shotgun?
I don't know. What?
I don't think I'm familiar with
I don't know the origin
of it. No.
It comes from coachmen. Coachmen transporting valuables. A guard with a shotgun typically be stationed beside the driver on the front.
I was going to say, it feels
With
like
the
it's probably
shotgun?
a gunner position kind of
Yeah,
thing.
no,
Yeah.
it's the person riding next to the driver on a valuables would typically be armed with a relatively short double barrel shotgun.
I thought it was some Floridian that rode a shotgun like a Harry Potter, like a flying broomstick,
I mean,
and
it
it
certainly
blew
did
out part of his
take-
thighs.
It certainly
Hey,
did take him to a magical place in the sky, but
When you said riding his shotgun, I thought this was going to get very NSFW.
no.
I mean, he probably did die and or shoot off some valuable bits.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, as Crux and the characters make their way to the docks, scores of pelicans, mollymocks, and other small birds, many of which you've never seen before. However, Rosemary, you have noticed a few residents that have made their appearance from time to time back at your homeland. These
Oh?
birds nesting on the asteroid squawk as you approach the rickety dock. At the end of the dock, two gray shark-like creatures fight over the remains of a pelican. It's kind of just right there on the edge of the dock.
Space sharks.
A woman in frayed robes and bare feet sits on a rocking chair at the base of the tower, watching the fracas. Her face half hidden by a wide-brimmed hat that has a blue jay perched on it. The woman leaps up to her feet, brandishing her staff and snarls. Go on, get! A fiery ray springs from her fingertips, frightening away the shark-like creatures and coming in within a few feet of the jolly boat as it shoots off past the edge of the dock and into the distance, into space.
Rosemary stops and takes off her hat to like do a little bow, and a bat flies out of it.
I love that fucking hat.
The bat flies and immediately makes its way towards some of the small holes that are coming out from the bottom of the asteroid, intent on finding its home for the next hour before it's taken back to its prison, the interdimensional space that is your hat.
Yep.
Crux jumps
and
off. Sorry, go on.
Say, hello, we were told that you could provide us with a map.
Ah, yes, I have many maps. Crux, it's good to see you again. It's been... I don't really keep track here, so I know it's been a while, though. It's yes. I assume you are off on another adventure, as you typically make your stops here and demand things of me. Did you bring what we often require as our deal? Crux looks sheepishly around, just like, shh, he mutters under his breath. Shucks. It is delayed in its, No, I did not. To be honest with you, we left the rock far too quickly. I apologize I could not bring your rock candy like you had wished for. Next time, should we survive this next adventure, I'll bring you triple the amount we agree upon. Just like, it's okay. I still got one left. And she pulls a little rock candy on a stick out from underneath her hat, puts it in her mouth. Come on, y'all. Come on inside. And she just walks into her first floor over here. Things.
I'll follow her in.
You. Token layer. There we go. Now you'll have a view of things. So she waits until y'all have all entered into the walk along the little short little front porch into the house, first floor, where you see a number of autognomes working about here on the first floor. Tupola does not wait. The moment she knows that you all are in the first floor, she begins walking her way towards the far side, where there seems to be a rope and pulley system bringing him up to the next level of the tower. This first floor is 4 ring-shaped garden terraces that line the walls of the cylindrical chamber. You kind of just have various levels of plants that go up. The gardens are vertically spaced every 10 feet and brimming with luscious fruits, vegetables, and golden wheat. Things from a variety of different biomes that are kept meticulously alive by these autognomes. The mechanical gnomes wear harnesses that allow them to tend to the plants. They pull themselves up with pulleys and hoist themselves from plot to plot, moving around. Most of my sustenance comes from these gardens, says Tupola. I get regular deliveries of fresh soil from the Dowar merchants, and they get homegrown food and bird eggs in return. There are a number of birds that have found their nesting here in the gardens. She plucks a few eggs from a nest as she passes on.
Rosemary is enamored.
The gnomes all have the same They all look almost exactly the same. The only distinction is on their large bald head. There is a big O with a number in the middle. Here on the first floor, numbers 1, 3, 6, and 8 are located. Come on now. She looks to number 8. Orwick, next floor, please. She almost does not wait for the group to follow along. Is anybody taking their time when it comes to this level? Admiring the plants or getting a closer look, perhaps?
Rosemary, absolutely.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay.
Beta hurries along.
Dell
Alright.
doesn't have much of an appreciation for that, but Tansy is pretty excited to see some other birds. So she's going to go mingle.
Yeah. Tansy, I would imagine Tansy left like immediately to go and socialize. Tansy goes to tell them of her travels. Maybe there's another puffin here.
Tansy's making friends.
All right. So Rosemary being a little bit distracted. Levi, are you hurrying along as well?
I feel like this is sort of unfamiliar territory, and so I think Levi wouldn't want anybody to be left alone. So he would probably stick close to Rosemary and let Delnadre and Bite follow our host.
Okay. So Denadre Vite, you are in the pulley system. Tapala looks back, notices that they are not there yet, and she's like, ugh. And she just kind of like gestures to Oric, and he starts pulling the elevator up. Bite, do you say anything, or do you progress to the second level?
Beta progressive.
Okay.
I see Rosemary doing her museum walk. And Levi's just kind of chaperoning. I'll accept that. That's well within
Okay.
parameters.
All right.
Well within parameters.
Like, yes, this is acceptable. All
The
right.
druid got distracted. It's fine.
So we'll come back to Levi and Rosemary, but Delnadre and Bite, as you make your way to the second floor, the pulley system brings you up. You do notice, though, this pulley system only brings you to the next floor. At the other side of the tower is the next pulley system. So before it even reaches the second floor, Tapala is already walking. She is stride. Just, come on. Yes, this is my living quarters. This floor houses a modest kitchen where 2 mechanical gnomes are preparing dinner. Furnishings include an unmade bed, a wardrobe topped with bird nests, and a bookshelf packed with astrological text and more bird nests. This is where I read my books and take my meals. My autognomes have no shortage of recipes. Today's repast is a deep-fried night scaver steak with a lunar bechamel.
A lunar bechamel? What the
She goes from just saying "go on, get" to having a really defined like palate, right? I don't know if she's backwoods or just like high class. It feels like
It's
she's
both.
a bit of both.
It's the guy from The Last of Us, like in the show where he's like makes a really fancy squirrel dinner.
Yes. The autonomes
Yes.
2 and 4 are preparing the meal, and this room is just filled with junk, paper on the floor near the bookshelf, books kind of just haphazardly left as she finishes something, then has a moment of inspiration and grabs another book to reference something, and that just goes on tangent on tangent. Now there is with the wardrobe being slightly open, you notice a robe of magical qualities just peeking out, Dell, as well as a spell book sitting open at the table, although Tapala picks it up as she passes by and puts it in her pack. She continues on sitting, making to the next harness where an autognome lowers it down from the 3rd floor. The gnome with number 5 opens the gate and walks in. She turns and says, "Come now, come now." I forgot to say, Crux is with y'all. So Crux is with Dell and Bitte. Is everyone on the second floor progressing to the third floor?
Sure.
Okay, good. As you get lowered, harnessed, carried up to the third floor, 2 mechanical gnomes are using rags to polish a 10-foot-long copper telescope in the center of this chamber. Dozens of star maps lie atop tables that are also littered with sketches of planets and otherworldly landscapes. One of the most prominent sketches lies on top of the pile, a planet eerily similar, covered in vines that seem to sparkle. Here, Topala remarks proudly, is my observatory, where I spend most of my time. I actually acquired my autonomes from the same fella who sold me this telescope. She slaps her hand, and you hear a little bit of an echo in the large copper telescope. This allows me to spy on all the worlds in the system and gaze at stars in other systems as well. That's the interesting part. Here, she kind of walks forward and touches the wall where the telescope is facing. A big opening appears, kind of just like the wall itself, just shimmering out of existence. Would you care to have a look? She offers to Crux, Dale, and Bitte.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So, who wants to go first, Bitte or Dale?
Me.
All right.
Who's first?
Dell, you are first. She has been observing a planet for the past several days. She says, yes, it seems to have been only recently covered in the Zarxian vines. It's been a wonderful specimen to observe, and I've been able to track its progress quite closely.
I'm going to make significant eye contact with Bite at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does not take you very long, Dell, to recognize, although you've never seen your planet with a bird's eye view, except only briefly as you were jetting away on the Nautiloid ship. But you recognize the spine of the world, the general topography of the coast from the maps you have studied and memorized in your trading days. It is your planet. It's Toro, right? Toro?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It is Toro. You can take a moment to look closer, focusing the telescope to get as much of a view as possible. The planet almost completely filling up the view of the telescope, and you see the destruction that the crystalline vines have wrought upon the world. Their thorns digging into major cities. You do see that the populace seems to be putting up some sort of a fight. Certain areas have shown a broken vine, not completely broken, but a large enough chunk. One of the cities, maybe Baldur's Gate, definitely seems to have put on a good defense and has a large circle, but there are multiple vines encircling it as you view the place. Here in the star in the last view of the observatory, there are just some star maps of various wild space systems, and there is a very shiny object on top of a bookshelf off to the side. It looks to be some sort of contraption with multiple revolving discs seem to orbit itself around. Tapala kind of looks up at the group, waiting eagerly. So, what do you think? Beautiful, isn't it? The pure beauty of the destruction. It is just a wondrous sight to be able to behold.
You know, it's certainly something. While I'm looking through, I'd like to see if I can specifically scan out the Neverwinter region.
Yeah. Yeah, you pick it out quite easily. Neverwinter does not look as protected as Baldur's Gate. In fact, it looks to be like a large crystalline vine has fallen upon a small section of the city. Perhaps, and I'm not as familiar with Neverwinter, but I imagine they have some walls going around that city. So nice big walls, perhaps even multiple walls.
Probably.
And it's kind of like laid it the vines have laid itself across like the northern reaches of the city, so it looks like it's like along the ocean. So the other side of of Neverwinter, that is where you see like just like basically the whole eastern front of that city is crushed under a vine.
Oh no, that's where the clock tower is.
Oh no. Is that where your people are, your business?
N- sh- no, probably not.
Okay. Is the clock tower from?
Is the clock tower a thing? What's the clock tower from?
I'm just looking at a map of Neverwinter, and
Oh,
one of the
okay.
few marked things on the east side is clock tower. Wait, no.
Yeah,
Hold
it's on
on.
the east. It's on the east side. I see a map that says clock tower. There's also a giant gash through this middle of the city.
I think that says cloak tower.
Cloak tower?
This map, it looks like that's an A. That's not a C.
Maybe it's a tower that's cloaked.
It's
A
Maybe
wizard
it's,
tower?
It's the cloak tower. Was a wizard tower
That feels
located
like
in the
wizard
river
shit to
district. The
me.
tower took its name from its original owners, the Order of the Wizards, named the Mini-Starred Cloak.
Huh.
So it is the cloak tower.
Look at that.
Oh no, that's where the cloak tower is. Sorry, something caught in my throat. It came out a little funny.
Yeah.
As
Getting a little choked up.
Oh, yeah. Ah.
when Be-
Yeah.
when Beta looks, do they appear to be like? Does it appear that there's like a central area the vines are emanating from? Do they seem to be coming around or like coming up into the sky and like falling over onto areas?
There's not one central area they're coming out of, but you do see multiple locations where the vines have spewed out from, as if they were coming out from the earth itself. It looks like they grew out of the earth. So it isn't just like there's just vines that were just wrapped around it, and they're not all coming from one location. It's like like I don't say hundreds, but dozens of central points throughout the planet that even on this side that you can see.
Are there? Do there appear to be vines in what Beta would know to be the Dale?
Yes, there are vines in the icy regions of the north. They crawl over the spine of the mountain. They also, kind of sprout from the sea of moving ice, where they almost like struggle to stay above the ice. And in some areas, like this, the weight has crushed into the ice shelf and fallen into the ocean below.
Beta kind of steps back.
There's definitely some vines that wind their way through different sections of. Actually, wait. Sorry, take all that back. Outside of seeing some vines disappear over the top of the world and come from the sea of the moving ice, majority of Icewind Dale is still under that everlasting winter, which has caused clouds and just poor visibility. So all you see from this area is clouds. You wouldn't be able to tell like specifically where 10 towns are or anything.
Beta steps back and he just kind of do regard. They have a purpose. They are not simply in the ground. It is a place to be guarded, watched, and kept. They set their sights to the sun, to conquest and glory like assholes. They had been in the earth watching, waiting, then this would not be happening. They would be heroes. You are a strange person to talk laugh.
Uh, thank you. I take that as a compliment. You know, yeah, I'm here, right? And I'm you know, on this tower alone, and I don't get a lot of time to interact with people. But I'm so happy that you all have been able to take in the same kind of fascination that I have with this planet. This I don't even know where it is. I was just scanning the galaxies, the wild space systems, and found this little lonely planet here within our system, and yeah, it's been, you know, it is, of course, somber. This is a planet that is being destroyed, but such is life, right? When a majestic bird is eaten by a space shark, we don't cry and curse the space shark for what it does. It's just living its life and performing its function. While the Zarxians are not natural in that sense, they are a force within the universe, enacting their will. It is the way of things, right? Looks to Bitte and Del.
The natural order is not about exerting. The shark does not have a will to destroy, it has a will to serve. This empire's will is to destroy.
But it this is not the first planet that I've seen destroyed by the crystal vines, and it's not destruction that they wrought, although destruction is the final order of anything that comes into contact with these vines, but it's a draining of their life force. The Zarxian Empire is long living, has been here for eons. I suspect they are doing what they can to extract resources from other places. To feel what? I do not know. Perhaps some weapon. Perhaps the life force of their people itself. I am not on good enough terms with their people, nor have I had any interactions with the Astral Elves to inquire upon that. Crux, have you heard anything? No, and nor would I give time to an Astral Elf to explain their ways. All they deserve is a bullet to the head. Anything else beyond that is too gracious of an offer. So, where are your friends? You seem to have lost them.
They are my friend Rosie is enamored of the natural world, as am I. Your gardens have drawn their fascination, but we are in need of a map.
A map?
To redeem
Oh,
space.
well, I have plenty of maps. She kind of looks and she's like, look at all these maps here. And she just like starts throwing down maps. I got stuff of Cake Place. Cake Space. It's a wonderfully fruity destination. Some sugar-toothed god must have created this area. Everything's made out of cake. It's amazing. I don't know how they function. There are cake deer. There are cake birds. Celestial cakes. Lots of cakes. Look, even the planet's shaped like a cake. She just shows you a map of a cake-shaped planet. But no, this is surely not where you were going. Crux is more of a battle-hardened individual. I fear you have come for a map of Zarxian space. And that I have
Doom.
not. Were you going to say something, Bitte?
Oh, did I cut out again? Doom space.
Doom space. Ah. Well, unfortunately, we're in the same boat with that one, as I do not have a map of Doom space. But, she looks around and her eyes catch the shiny metal object that's on top of the bookshelf. Scurries over, just papers flying around as she rushes through. But I have this. She reaches atop and grabs it. This gizmo shows you where you are in relation to planets, moons, and suns in a wild space system, but you must be in that wild space to use it. However, getting from system to system is quite easily. You enter the astral sea, wish upon, you put out into the unknown your destination, and, well, the astral sea will just take you where you want to go. Once you're there, the orrery will reorient itself, give you a nice little blinking dot where you are, and even provide some minor details to to the planets. I'm well enough aware of what is inside Doomspace that the orrery should have all of the planet names already within and able to be identified. She kind of hands it out, but grabs it real quick, brings it back. But I have a quest. Request your adventures, so a quest seems fitting. There is a monster I wish to be slayed. In fact, I'm surprised that you did not encounter it on your way in. Big Mama doesn't usually let people wander into her space. The Dowar merchants have been having trouble lately. She's even more aggravated than she had been years past. The Void Scaver. Big Mama. She is a Void Scaver, a large, vicious beast that prowls wild space systems. It's pretty understandable that you did not encounter her. She can be hard to see, except for her single red eye. Careful for that one, it's a frightening sight. I will give you my wild space orrery if you will slay Big Mama for me.
Well,
So,
okay. I don't see
Okay.
we have much choice otherwise.
wonderful. Crux is like, yeah, excited for some action after the last one didn't go our way. Topolis, oh, well, maybe we have some time to discuss that when your adventure is done. I would love to hear all about it, Crux. It's been quite lonely in recent months, years. Kinda stares off. But anywho, and walks again, makes her way back to the other harness that lowers her down. Just, come on now, let's go. As she passes, she tosses the orrery into Delnadre's hands and makes her way back down to the bottom. Come, let's go.
Oh, she just gives it to us? Oh, okay.
Is there? I must ask you. It seems you have many wonders here. That is of use, certainly. I must ask, is there... You spoke of it being a somber thing to watch your work. That is our world. That is my world. You've... As someone who I think understands the value of personal connection and, if I may, the pain of its absence. Is there any other information or resource of some sort that you might be able to offer in the name of preserving millions of others?
She kind of
Or
looks.
perhaps forming some for yourself?
She looks pretty somber, hearing your tale and putting two and two together on, well, on her reaction to your planet suffering, but also to the fact that you are from that planet and care deeply for its survival. But you can see in the darks of her eyes that the whites of her, in deep behind her eyes, that she doesn't have an answer for you. Apala kind of looks. I've only ever observed, and I've never seen one survive. But I'm sure the Zarxians, he kind of perks back up. I'm sure they have something a way to reverse it, right? I mean it's probably tied to something else. Maybe there's a mother tree or a button you can press. There's hope. She kind of like pats you on the back, like don't give up.
Have you seen how the process is started? Is this something they put there or something that is done remotely, magically?
I think you said something about seeding previously.
Yes, they shoot seeds, and these seeds grow. But these aren't just these are seeds from Zarxia. They have to have come from something. But they kind of just fire them out of a cannon in their ship. I was able to view that part, observing your planet. I truly was just a fluke that I got to see this whole thing play out. Wonderfully fascinating. I mean, somber and of course an unfortunate incident that's happening. But they just kind of shoot them into the ground, and it takes very little time for them to pop up. Although it is could be a lengthy process. Your world is overflowing with magic, which seems to be what they are craving. That energy of the world. It can take a long time to drain. I've seen uninhabited rocky planets get crushed in a few short days, while vibrant lives that have formed ecosystems and where we see races of that have made their way to the wild space, those who are more advanced take a lot longer. But the astral elves always finish the job and leave nothing more than rocky bits floating in space.
And if you had a chance to help someone who would see that not continue, is there anything else that you would have to assist that effort?
No. She looks down. I have food you can take, birds, should you need them. But I have nothing to assist you in your ways outside of the knowledge and the orrery that I've already given you. It has been many a year since I've ventured outside of my tower. I'm not sure if I am quite ready for that yet. So she steps onto the harness and gestures to the group to join her as she makes her way back down through the third floor to the second floor, walking across in the second floor to the first floor.
Is there A, do we fully believe her? B, is there anything we can steal?
Oh
um,
my
That looks
god.
that looks
So
There was
useful.
that magic cloak that y'all walked past, but Rosemary didn't see it. Rosemary's still looking at
That-
plants.
yes, that was the only thing that there seems to be. I mean, outside of grabbing maps from other areas, which, if you were to do so, she would, Topola wouldn't oppose or grabbing of anything on the third floor. There is of course that robe, the magical robe on the second floor, but outside of that, I mean, nothing here is useful or useful in your need of finding, something to help fight the Xarxian Empire, as well as she has up to this point been completely truthful. She views Crux as a old friend, and at any point where you might have had some, is she telling the truth? Crux would vouch for her with his life. We've been through many of an adventure in the past, but it just, for Topola, it feels like she's kind of like with Crux, like they're near the end of their adventures. They are veterans that have semi-retired or found other things to do, but not to say that there isn't a possibility for her to join. She seems to be a well versed and capable mage for having, for just the things she has around her tower. But yeah, okay, so we're gonna take a quick swap back over to Levi and Rosemary, figure out what y'all have been doing, and during this time, if Delnadre and Bitte wish to take anything, let me know, and roll a sleight of hand with disadvantage because both Crux and Topola are with you, or you can type it out of how you get away from them in order to be unseen. For the most part, the gnomes pay no mind to anything that you would do. They are not going to say, hey, don't take that, because they aren't aware of that. They are just servants that
Skyrim guard behavior.
They're
What's
just
that robe?
um
No, we can circle back.
Levi, Rosemary, you find yourself in that garden and you're just kind of taking in, the complexity of the life forms you find here. Each little plot around the circle seems to have different plants from all around. The birds that you've seen from planets, and recognize ones that look similar, you recognize ones that look so vastly different. There's no way it could evolve from any sort of life form on your planet. Things from all across, birds that don't even look like birds. And
Is
they
there
all
a bird
seem.
made of cake?
There is a bird made of cake. Yes, there is a cake bird. It is very odd.
Oh.
It is not a cake bird, whereas it is not a bird made of cake. It is a cake that has a beak and wings and feet. Which is just like
Well,
a
cake
giant
is
slice of cake with a beak on it.
Maybe I could wild shape into that.
Oh my god, yes.
It is not technically a beast. It is a construct.
Ah,
It is.
boo.
It's more of like a. Now, that's not to say that you can't wild shape into some of these other types of birds that you find. I don't really have like pictures for any of them, but like, extra planar bird can be something you pick, and you could just be like, yeah, I want to pick this bird, and just we'll talk more about this, but like there could be birds that are just really like really stealthy and they look really black, or ones that like are like a slime and might have a better way of shifting themselves into other places.
I don't think I can wild shape currently into anything that has a fly speed.
Oh, well then, there's nothing here that's not a bird.
Flightless extraplanar bird.
Yeah, flightless extraplanar bird.
There's a penguin. There are some flightless birds, but yes, a lot of it will be things you can remember for later. But what are y'all kind of doing in this time? Well, it wasn't too long. They went up to the top, they got what they needed, and came kind of right back down. Tabala understands you're not here to stay and visit. You're here to stop by and do things. So, what are y'all doing down here on the first floor as these 4 mechanical gnomes just go about their business tending to the plants?
Rosemary is enamored by so many different living, like, crops in one place. Like, I'm assuming that, like, oh my god, these have, like, different grow speeds and harvest seasons, and, like, they shouldn't even be able to grow next to each other, which means there has to be either some really good, like, plant care going on or, like, magical intervention. Like, Rosemary's just, like, geeking out about plants.
Yeah, in fact, there really is. There's a lot of magical intervention going on. Everything looks like it's an open pod. They're not in like different little they're not in different glass or hard edges, but you can kind of like, if you stick your head around or hand over it, you can do like, you can see there's magical planes or barriers that seem to allow easy pass in and out, but also keep climate control inside. There's one plant that only, might only flower in the dead of winter. And in that little pot, snow falls down in the little thing, and it's just icy cold. You stick your hand, you could get frostbite if you stuck it in there for too long. That's just kind of how this garden goes all around. Like, there's plants that grow in the desert. It's like cactus. But right next to it is a plant that requires the luscious and the mistiness of a jungle forest.
Rosemary's just geeking out with all of this too, Levi.
Yeah, Levi like listens attentively, but is almost entirely focused on just watching the autonomes work. Sort of not necessarily trying to understand how they work, but just like watching them do their own thing independently. Like, it's all. I mean, these are like mechanically constructed beings, so it's very new to him.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, autonomes are something you've probably seen. You probably may have noticed them every now and then on the Rock of Brawl, because they are, around. There isn't one on the ship that you've ever been on, but there were definitely some on the Rock of Brawl, and they are, mindless to a point, right? Like they serve functions, but they have the ability to, and you've noticed this from observing them, to change. Like, maybe they are harvesting plants and they are able to learn from their past mistakes of, we need to make sure we do this. Whereas Topola's instructions were to tend to the plants, give them the knowledge they need, but then just let them handle it and, get and have the journey be on their own. So you see some sort of artificial learning coming through as you observe these gnomes. Although they don't talk, they don't converse, they just mindlessly go through, and sometimes as well, because they don't communicate very often or ever, they bump into their other autonome friends and lead themselves to get tangled up.
It's like two of them running into each other repeatedly.
Are they like gnomes?
Are they like gnome shaped?
Are they like gnome sized and shaped, or is that just
let me see. They are gnome size and shape. Let me see if I can look at a handout.
Someone's like, let's make robots and make them only look like gnomes.
Yeah, I think every now and then, like Levi, Levi would just walk close to one and then just basically like turn it kind of like a top and like see if he can just like move, like direct it in a different direction randomly.
Yeah, these freaking jokesters. Look at that face.
Look at that thing. Look at his feet.
I feel like they were probably made by gnomes. Like, that's probably.
They are.
I would hope so, because I feel like the alternative is like
a little.
They were made by humans as a grand mockery of gnomes.
Yeah. Silly.
They are made by gnomes, yes. Topala, when she gets down at this point, you all have made some observations and walked around. Do you want to gather anything? Is there anything concrete you want to have accomplished in this time, or are you ready to rejoin with the rest of the party?
If Rosemary finds certain plants that are like similar or the same to plants that they had back like home essentially.
Mhm.
Rosemary wants to try to gather some seeds from them.
Okay.
Like not or like seeds or cuttings or like not anything that would hinder their plant or like significantly take like some of the yield, but like just put some in her like seed satchel.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, some of the
cutting
plants are growing like really well, while some of them are almost a struggle to keep them alive. And you pick out certain ones. In fact, you see your parents' favorite plant, a small little nut bearing tree that that Topola seems to have built a bonsai of. And you just like, it brings you back of like winters where they roast these nuts over a fire, and the smell just kind of fills your, I imagine, maybe not hut, your home. And you notice that yes, that you're skilled enough to be able to take cuttings that will grow, whether through assistance of plant growth or just through your own knowledge. And the autonomes don't seem to have any mind of you taking them. In fact, there's some extra pots and plant and soil sitting around, so you take the time to gather up a number of plants. Roll me nature, and we'll see how many you get.
Let me see. Sure.
You're
Boop.
definitely gonna get, okay, yeah. So you get the nut bearing plant. Would you like some fruit bearing plants as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get some fruit.
Like specifically cuttings that maybe I can like with some time maybe graft into some of the roots on the ship.
Yeah.
Maybe get us some treats.
There are
That
certain
is
areas as
exactly what
well
I'm
where you're
thinking.
able to take like a full plant. Like it's there's just an extra one, kind of like, like how a strawberry plant will make little runners, and you can easily take the runner off and have your own little mother plant from there, and you're
Yeah.
able to,
Or you can like split a hosta in half.
exactly, like you just gather up a number of things. You get 4 different distinct plants, one nut, one fruit, and then some the other 2 you pick are very unique. If you want, you can give me a description of them. Otherwise, we'll just say like they're so foreign that you want them to, you want to bring them back. But you did notice that even despite them being foreign, they seem to live in a very similar environment to what you could recreate back on the ship. So you're not taking anything that's going to be like, oh damn, I need this to be icy. Although you guess you could take a, you can't control weather yet, can you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Just
I think that's
constantly
like a
do
7th
crap
level spell.
little thing.
Just like constantly control weather.
I do I think one of the plants that is like more foreign is one that's like bioluminescent.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of like takes her a second. She kind of like looks at it because it's, I imagine, like regularly lit in this tower. She kind of like
actually
cups her hands to be able to see.
have a better idea. It's a bioluminescent, but it only becomes bioluminescent when you touch it. So you notice that like
Ooh.
as you're like going and like, touching all these plants, like your fingers, like your paths of your fingers are like lit up on the plant. You grab like a leaf absentmindedly and like pluck it off and like just like rub it really hard, and it just starts to like shine and basically becomes a little glow stick.
Love that.
The glow stick plant, what we'll name it. So we got
Glow
chestnuts,
stick plant.
chestnut tree, fruit tree, glow stick plant, and what's your last plant?
I think one just like smells really good, like almost like a jasmine of like a beautiful like floral scent.
A floral scent plant. It has multiple scents. Seem to almost like change with a mood. If you hurt the plant, it gives a really rotten smell. But if you water it, it just explodes in this pleasant smell. So that'll be interesting to figure out how we can function with that. So at this time, Topola comes down and oh, I'm sorry, Levi, what are you doing in the meantime?
Honestly, he's just been like kind of messing with the autonomes, like watching them work.
Yes.
And just kind of following them around and like seeing how much he can mess with them if they just continue to go back to their work. You know what I mean?
They
If
you could
if the autonym is walking in one direction and he turns it in a different direction, does it just turn around? Or like if the autonym is reaching for something and he moves its arm, does it like continue to try no matter how many times Levi moves its arm, or does it eventually like give up and try to go do something else? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, they despite however much obstacles you put in their way, they always do the best they can to get back to their current directive. And you do notice though through this pranking on the autonomes, they have a true hidden intelligence as they're able to get through quite difficult obstacles. Like if you put one outside and close the door, it isn't just gonna run against the door like, oh no, I want to get back outside. It might go around and hop through a window, or it might like pull back like a portion of the tower and then fix its problem. It seems to have developed. They seem to have developed like an ingenious way of getting back to their core directive, even if their core directive was just to sweep the floor. They aren't unintelligent in that manner, but at the same time, they seem very simple, very automated in their function.
Fair enough.
Don't bully the robots too much.
I think once Topolis comes down, Levi might be interested in whether or not she'd be willing to part with one.
All right. Well, she comes down from the elevator right as you are like really poking, prodding one. Not dangerously, but in just like part of your observations and experimentation. And she's like, "Ah, yes, wonderful creatures, aren't they? As I was telling your friends, I got them when I bought my telescope up there, Orwick. And I believe," and she looks at it, I believe that is Orwick number 8. Yes, he is a feisty one, that's for sure. Always seems to take the most destructive approach when it comes to overcoming his problems. But he's become very gentler in the hand. Not as many broken twigs and branches that I see around, but still pretty heavy-handed.
Are they sentient? Do they have their own thought process? Are they living beings?
She kind of like, that's a pretty difficult. Yes, but no. They have intelligence, and they seem to have an ability to understand the surroundings and the world and learn, but at the same time, they are hard pressed to abandon their directive. Like, if I were to take Orwick number 8 and put him upstairs in front of the kitchen, he would do nothing more except try to get back down to tend to his plants, because I gave him the directive of tending to his plants. If I told him to protect me, he probably would not let me go to the bathroom by myself. They are very motivated in finding their directive, but will one walk around on its own? Not really. Not that I have seen. However, I did hear that it can go rogue and become rather devilish.
I see.
They go rogue?
Are you
Like-
And she kind of like tilts her head and does a little crazy symbol. Yeah, it's not good.
Are you invested in maintaining all of your editions of Ulrich?
They are rather helpful, but if you happen to have something that I could use, I would be more than willing to consider a trade. What does Levi have to offer?
Fucking jack shit.
You're just gonna ask for it, like.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I just reopened my inventory to see that I have very little money.
Also, our money is like our Earth money. I don't know how much.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Gold is pretty universal, but anything else is not. But she
I have
doesn't.
84 silver pieces.
She doesn't necessarily want money. She wants
Right.
a useful item. You do have a.
I've noticed
useful
your. I've noticed your magically inclined. Forgive me, I spotted the spell book.
item.
I have a particularly potent magical spell scroll. If you're interested.
Oh. What is it? Pray tell. Show me.
It contains the spell Wall of Force.
Hmm. I do not have that spell. Ooh.
Now, are you sure you want to give away our very useful Wall of Force spell? I mean, it is just a robot.
It's kind of a high level spell.
I'm saying this to sweeten the deal. I'm helping you.
Tom,
Usually we would expect to get like probably at least 3 robots from a scroll of this level.
Or perhaps, something like a
well,
cloak.
Wall of Force, while very interesting, is still a one-use item. These autonomes will last centuries. I
Well,
couldn't even.
someone with your abilities could scribe that scroll into their spell book and make use of it indefinitely.
Yes, indeed. Didn't want to. Yes, so you've caught me in
I
my lie
do
here.
know how wizardry works.
Yes, of course I can do that. Yes. Sure. You are already doing me a favor, and I'm sure there could be a chance later for me to acquire it. How about this? Why don't you take number 8 on your travels? Let him learn from you. Be sure to give him a useful directive. Should you give him something too complex or something that causes him to be unable to accomplish it, he will become murderous. I don't know why, but they always turn to little murder robots. She grabs.
Wait, so it's just a murder robot?
She grabs. No. Now it's a nice happy friend, but she grabs Levi and looks you dead in the eye.
So for contemplate your place in existence, it just turns immediately to murder?
Yeah. Maybe that's something
have you
to
met
say.
Internet AI?
Yeah. Well, you just need to give it something simple, and don't let something that it needs to protect die under its watch. If you can, if you say, for example, I told it, and she turns to orb number 8, protect me and prevent me from dying. And Orbic just kind of acknowledged. Directive changed. New directive. Protect. Tapala. Prevent. Death. And it just starts to stare around. It glowers at each of you. And it just kind of backs up to underneath top of the skirt and is protecting. Say, if I were to die now, this thing would try to murder everybody. Not in any sort of way of understanding, just that it if it can't understand itself, it tries to just end all existence around itself so that it has nothing else to interact with, and it can enter into standby mode.
So what you're saying is it struggles to accept its own failure.
Yeah.
It just like a for real.
Same.
Yeah. Yes, so don't give it an impossible task, and it will be fine. However, I have heard of some rather eccentric wizards. Give them impossible tasks and dump them at the foot of its enemies. but they aren't the strongest. But they can do quite a bit of murdering. They match up fairly well against children.
– Levi just
It
blinks a few
murders
times.
children?
Murders
Blinks a few
anything.
times, and he's like, "I'm going to pretend you didn't say that."
I'm just
Wizards-
saying what I've heard.
Wizards
We're getting the child murder robot.
are in a bunch. I'm fine.
She kind of like gets she turns to Oric. Oric 8. I am changing ownership of you. Until the death of, she looks at you. What is your full name? At you, Levi.
Levi Corvallis.
Levi. Until the death of Levi Corvallis, you shall serve him and obey his directives. Oric 8 just kind of goes, turns to Levi. Directive needed.
I command you to love. It just explodes.
Self-destructs.
Directive needed.
Ulrich, for now, your directive is to follow me.
Directive accepted. Follow Levi Corvallis. And it gets right behind you, and it's too close. For the time for initially it probably follows you, like getting kicked by your feet as you let him go behind you, but it then quickly learns from its mistakes of how close it should follow, and finds itself following in about a 5-foot path behind you.
Generative AI learning.
Solid.
All right, so we'll put that over there and let Ben control it.
Rosemary's
go.
like, we got such nice souvenirs. I got some clippings. You got a child murder robot.
And I will pass over the spell scroll.
The
Yes.
universe
Dale.
works in mysterious ways.
Dale, did you get a chance to look at that cloak?
I spotted it. I didn't get to, I didn't go digging through her closet. Should I?
Well, I mean, do you want to ask for it or see about taking it?
I'm just like robbing this woman blind.
You know what?
Like,
Hey,
our
thanks for the
stuff sucks.
robot. Can we have
Give
your
us yours.
clothes?
You know what? This lady is agoraphobic, clearly. So, just ask rather than give her trauma. Topola,
Yes.
you said that there was nothing else of use that could be of use here. I did notice that there was a cloak that appeared special in some way.
Oh, that old thing? Oh yeah. It's not even mine, really. It was the previous owners of the tower. It does have a bit of a stink to it. It's kind of why I left it in there.
Hmm.
She kind of like whispers, "He died in it."
That
Who?
is a little gross. Does it stink because of hiding?
Oh no,
How
he
long
just
ago-
never took a bath.
Oh,
And it hasn't
after he
aired
died,
out
after
at
he
all?
died, it seems that
The smell of death has disappeared slightly. However, from the years of them wearing it almost daily, if not indefinitely,
the BO was deeper than the deaths.
yes, a sentient grime has formed on it, and no matter.
Did you say sentient?
Yes, a sentient grime. It seems to be resistant to any cleaning mannerisms, magical spells, fire. Yeah.
We're witnessing the birth of a new species,
It,
grime elemental.
It also seems to have, because him being a wizard, the previous owner, The grime has absorbed some of the magical abilities. It's quite useful. You know what? And she kind of hurries back up the ladder, comes back down with it. Yeah, look, look, look. It is a robe with cloth patches of various shapes and colors that cover it. While you are wearing the robe, you can detach a patch and it becomes an object that it represents. It's just a bunch of different patches on it.
Useful items.
Yes, the
Cloak of
robe
many
of
things.
useful items.
Would you mind if we
What the heck?
It has a lot of crazy shit on it.
could we have it? You seem to not use. We are in need. You know the situation.
Well, I mean, we've already
As
made,
someone who
we've already made one trade. I would more than happily let it go for another object of value. Do you have an object of value?
Beatty would like to detect to see if there are planar 1 mile.
You want to use your detector thing to see if there's planar creatures within a mile?
If planar portals, see
Planar
if there is a planar portal.
Portals.
The closest planar portal.
Yes, there is. You can sense its presence far off in the asteroid belt, probably hidden deep within a cave, not too far away, maybe 3/4 of a mile from this tower. You can point it out directly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what I was going to... Well, I guess I could just do it. Topla, there is a planar portal of some kind in the asteroid belt. About how far did you say it was?
3/4 of a mile.
About 3/4 of a mile that way.
Oh.
That is... You say you are not quite comfortable to leave your tower. We would love to have you along this journey. A individual of your abilities, though I know that it seems you have a hang up about that, about leaving, not being ready. Perhaps an adventure for you to take would be something a...
This interesting indeed. So you wish to trade this knowledge? I imagine you could produce a map within the asteroid belt of this planar portal and exchange for this robe, that knowledge of me having an ability to escape and to travel on adventures as well, utilizing this portal. Do you happen to know where it goes?
No. That would be a discovery.
Oh.
A curiosity.
Sure. She tosses you the robe, this thing that, as she tosses it, you smell it. It's not quite like rot or anything truly bad, but it does cause a slightly uncomfortable scent to radiate within 5 to 10 feet of it.
It's Beat is basically going to find something to like wrap this in. It can keep stinking. It can just stink within a container.
Grab like a plastic bag and just stuff it in. There we go. Airtight. Perfect.
Do you have a compost bag?
Fortunately, most of my bags are dirt-ridden or manure, and I've tried. That's worse.
I greatly appreciate this. Thank you. I will.
See if I
will give you a heading.
might be here. Yes, it is. Okay. So I can show this to you. There you go. And it has 4d4 patches, and we can roll when we need to see what. We'll do that next time, and we'll cause it to have those things. So ignore that D100 chart for now, but keep a reminder the next time we get together, we will take the time to roll and determine what patches in particular you actually have. So, if
I love
there's-
how it's just things like, oh yeah, money, a chest, a door, a ladder, dogs.
I love the dog's on a riding horse. So,
Well, I feel like the door is like you could like take it, put it on a wall, then you have a wall.
right. Oh yeah, and a window as well. Take
Yeah.
it and put a horse into existence. Can you put things back onto I'm guessing you can't put the patches back onto the
No,
thing. It's
no.
like you
it's
take the horse
it's a
out, and the first thing he
consumable.
does is just runs away. He's like, I'm tired of this existence.
Mhm.
So, all
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
Well, if there is nothing else for y'all, and there is nothing else to take from Topala, she will wave at you from the porch as she sends y'all on your way back to your jolly boat and back to the waiting second wind. Everyone gets on
As
the...
I'm also scanning through my inventory again. Rosemary, what kind of armor do you have?
I have. Let's see.
leather
I have
armor.
leather armor. I can't wear any armor that has metal on it because I'm a druid. I don't know. I didn't make the rules.
Okay, I was gonna say I have a set of studded leather, but technically that is reinforced with close set rivets.
And druids?
Let me.
Yeah, look,
Technically, they can.
I would say yeah, right? Because it's leather's touching them. And because you can have a shield that...
Well, even the metal thing is like it's more of a flavor rule.
Right.
I think it says
scimitars.
D&D Beyond says druids can wear studded leather armor, but that's in a forum.
Well, I accept it. If you want to have the...
yeah, that's more. I think it's more up to the DM, and then also you as a druid, do you disdain that or not?
If you
I
truly
mean,
have
the planet is in the process of dying, so I feel like desperate times
Yeah.
call for desperate measures.
Exactly. And if you need to, you can have Bitte fashion some rivets out of bone. Or some other
That's
kind of thing to make it truly better. If that's what... But I would say for the time being, the studded leather is minor enough, and there is truly no problem against that. So, yes.
It sounds like we're gonna go shark hunting. So, I'm not using this anymore. It might you might get more use of this. Either way, I will pass it to you, and you can do with it what you decide.
I would love some studded leather armor.
Yeah. So large mother, is this a celestial by chance?
Big Mama is right, because you can sense...
The matron.
You can sense anything that's a celestial or a monstrosity within a certain distance, or just be more aware of them.
I will double check the terms. It's so ability to communicate. Oh wait, this which feature is this? This favorite enemy. That's tracking and understanding. Tracking, understanding, and speaking. Natural explorer does not. That.
So it'd be
Discovery.
you could attune to your senses through primeval awareness.
Yes,
to
one
sense.
interrupted minute of concentration to sense if there's any within any monster.
Oh, I'd like to also explain to Rosemary and Levi that we're gonna go shark hunting.
Oh yeah.
Hunt a shark. Hunt a shark.
Hunt a shark. Okay, so Bitte, are you focusing on celestial or monstrosity?
I mean, if I got 2 minutes, I'll do both.
It's gotta be, if it's anything, it's gotta be monstrosity, right? It's a void.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
AV.
You mean, unfortunately, like focusing on celestial, there are a lot of celestials in the area. You see kind of like popping out. Focusing on monstrosities, similar, but you do notice the presence of one rather large monstrosity currently floating around in the darkness below Topolus Tower. You can't
Big
quite
mama.
see it. Its stealth is actually you can reach to the edge of the dock if you want to give you a perception check.
Okay, with advantage for favorite. Or wait, no, that's just survival, so it would just be the. Also, I don't know why I rolled it twice. It already comes. I automatically roll with advantage. 23.
23.
Or I automatically.
Yeah. So with
yeah.
the 23, you spot it. It was difficult. Would have never looked if you hadn't, been aware of where it is, but you see that red glowing eye circling around. As you spot it, its eye focuses on you as you lean over the dock. It starts to get a little bit bigger, and you quickly realize Big Mama is coming. So at this time, you all were kind of like on your way. You were sitting on the, looking out on the dock. I'm guessing like as Bitte has been focusing and looking around for it.
And I thought we would have been on the ship at this point, but
Oh, you want to be on the jolly boat?
I mean, no, I thought we were like getting back onto the ship, and it's like, okay, we're gonna go find this thing.
So you're
then it does
waiting
the
until
thing.
you get to the ship to attune to, or
I mean,
to focus
I mean,
and look
if we
for?
want to do it, let's use the battle map. Let's say we do.
This
Let's
is
use the
big
battle
DM. Oh, so you touch it energy? You touch the item?
Yes.
You guide the mega
Just like,
sharp.
you-
back
oh,
to
would you
your-
like to wait till
you-
you get to the boat so that I can attack you in mid-space?
Well, okay.
you call to the Kraken while you're on. Okay,
So
excellent.
so Bitte passed the perception check. He's gonna be good there. But if he did not do the attunement while on the dock and had intended to wait until you were back on the big ship, that does change how aware he is of what's happening. I did imagine that y'all were gonna be on the jolly boat already, and was gonna progress through how things are written. But because he brought it up, I was like, oh, okay, that's, it makes sense.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
it's
like,
specifically written to do it on the jolly boat.
Yes.
The fight
like,
on the jolly boat.
it is because she mentioned like the Big Mama is patrolling around her tower, so
Okay,
it's in the area. So that's why I thought like, okay, Bitte is gonna be smart. He knows there's monstrosity about. Now he's gonna find it and be able to hunt it and take all the surprise out of the situation.
Yeah, that does kind of seem like the thing where a person is like, oh, hey, so there's a giant shark patrolling all over. It's attacking everything that comes through. Honestly, I'm surprised you guys got here without seeing it. Doesn't sound like the kind of thing a bunch of people would be like, oh, okay, well, we'll go hop in our little boat and we'll go look for it. Sounds great.
Are you sure? Because the picture they have drawn in the book looks exactly like that.
That doesn't seem sensical.
So that's why I imagined, Bitte, you were doing it at the dock. But if you don't want to do
see,
that,
in my mind, I was doing mangan free. that was my initial plan. But I would love to use this map if we want to use this map, and get to see like Topla like throw some shit if she wants.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
If she wants a taste of adventure, like
She's
I'm
like,
hella
I
game with
cast
that.
Wall of Force. Shit. Are we supposed to scribe that? Fuck.
So let's flip this. Can I flip it? Player advanced. What? Okay, if I group it, then can I flip it? No! Damn. Okay, I'm not gonna flip individually little part that you. So the jolly boat backs up towards the towards the second dawn. You all have boarded the jolly boat. As you are making your way across and rowing in the oars, Delnadre, you got to be up in front because
Oh, hell yeah.
and we will
And
go. We'll go to.
Sorry,
a
I thought we were still fighting.
So as you guys are progressing, the second wind is 100 feet away. You get out about 20 feet. At that point, that's when, and it's a slow little rowing. It's at that point that Bitte's primeval awareness finally fully kicks in, and you sense something coming. You look over the edge of the boat, and you see it, Big Mama, its eye getting closer and closer as it rushes down from below the jolly. Damn, GM layer. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Now,
Are we about to get Moby Dick right now?
It's so round.
Gonna get Moby Dick down if you know what I'm saying. Sorry.
Okay, so
Sorry.
Can we get some perception checks from everybody? Except for
I
Bitte.
mean,
you already did.
Beats is like there. It's there.
It's there. It's there. So this is more of like everyone else looking over and trying to find it. Rachel,
It's where?
Yeah. Well, huh?
Beta cast Hunter's Mark.
So nobody else sees it. The only thing you can quite see at this point is just the red eye, just slowly making its way, growing.
Tansy, get up here on my
Levi.
shoulder.
Levi.
Rosemary is still
Levi
not.
cast light on my dart.
Okay, I will do that.
Oh God, why is this so?
I cast light on his dart.
Rosemary's still not used to having threats in 3D space of like
Is-
I can't see it in a 360 degree. I need to look up and down.
Is this thing within 60 feet?
It is, yes.
When it becomes okay, so since within 60,
Yes. It is.
Beta has his Hunter's Mark and throws his dart into this thing, trying to A, deal damage, and B, trying to A, deal damage, and B, like get like a beacon on this so everyone can see it and see where it is.
Del, with Tansy's help, you are able to identify where it is. This large creature, you kind of like spot the blackness of its body against the stars below. Bita, roll me an attack. Let's see if you hit.
Okay, first one is not sharp, but it is going to be planar. Oh wait, actually it's advantage, so yeah, make it sharp. Sharpshooter, planar warrior, Hunter's Mark, and favorite enemy. First attack with advantage. Does a 15 to hit?
Does a 15 hit? I should have had a. Where are you, Big Mama? Big Mama, come to me. Oh, cool.
Your daughter just say who that?
No, she's saying so cool dice. Looking at dice.
Weird, I didn't include all my other
15
shit.
does hit. Yes.
Okay, and that is missing planar warrior, Hunter's Mark, and then also favorite enemy and sharpshooter.
Hunter's Mark is a bonus action, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Or actually, no. Well, yeah. So Hunter's Mark, and then I guess I can't Hunter's Mark and planar warrior.
Gotcha.
So
okay. Yeah, that was my question there. I didn't know if you. So
yeah,
do you Hunter's Mark
so,
or do you planar warrior?
Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
So I can keep better track of it.
Gotcha.
So 8 plus 5 plus yeah, I guess just 8 plus 5 for
13 damage.
Math 13 damage.
Yep. Okay.
And then
yeah. So
and then for the second attack, which second attack is will I assume a 9 will miss. Yeah.
It will miss. So the second one flies in, but the one you had lighted hits true, and everyone else is now aware of it. Delnadre, you do get an opportunity to take an action here, as you were able to catch sight of it, something you could just throw off quickly. What do you do?
If I can, I'll just shoot a shot at it with my bow.
Yep. Okay.
How far away did you say it was?
It is 40 feet away right now.
Oh, it's close. Okay. Then I will bonus action aim to give myself advantage.
Okay.
Oh, plus an extra 4 damage for the favorite enemy.
Oh, yeah.
On the
Nice.
first one.
Okay.
Let's Let's see. So sneak attack is on. All right. Attack with advantage.
Pew pew. All right.
22 to hit.
All right, that hits for 16 damage.
Oh, and I would like to use one of my mind poison arrows.
Okay. Yeah.
So I will drop that down and roll an extra 3d6 psychic damage.
Get murdered. Very nice. Very nice. You hear the Big Mama just let out this as it opens its gaping maw. Now, which is not dark, but more fleshy toned. The teeth just seem to just open up in its jaw, almost unhinging, forming kind of like a snake as it just widens its mouth. On its turn, Big Mama barrels its way through your jolly boat, smashing it to smithereens and leaving you all floating in the gravity plane as it rushes up. And then it kind of circles back around and finds itself just kind of floating right above you. It's it will also target the group as a whole. Actually, I believe it's going to target the group as a whole. Let me double check here. Don't know what the distance is here. Yeah. Okay. Its eye begins to glow red as you all, I'm sure, in the chaos of like boat exploding and you finding yourself floating, you've done your best to try to orient yourself to look at and find the creature. I'm gonna need a wisdom saving throw from everybody. This includes Tapala that's sitting at the dock.
I have advantage on wisdom saving throws from my Kalashtar heritage.
And if you have anything
Hell
that
yeah.
prevents you from being able to whatchamacallit, be not frightened, you can ignore this save. Otherwise, Delnadre, you are going to be frightened.
Woo! It's a high DC.
Sorry.
I have advantage on
Tapala
this.
is fine.
That advantage did not do me.
Ben, you are Levi is frightened, and so is Bitte. Oh, and I need Crux. Crux is the last one. Where are you, mister? There you are. Wisdom saving throw, and he is going to fail. So Crux does not save. So Rosemary and who is it? Rosemary and Tafala are the only people who are not frightened. Otherwise, everybody else is going to be frightened for until the start of the Scaver's next turn. All right. That is where we're going to end our session. That's a great little stopping point. Even though I know I had wanted to go to 2, but I'm going to have to go to family stuff real quick. Wonderful session, y'all. We were able to get through all of Topola's Tower and just have this last little person to fight here at the end.
Yeah, just the giant shark. It's fine.
Just the giant shark. Not a problem at all. Well, thank you all for listening to us. We are Everybody's a Mimic, an actual play 5th edition.
We shall continue to be.
We shall continue to be Everybody's a Mimic, an actual play 5th edition webcast, playing Light of Xarxis in the Spelljammer world as we try to stop the crystalline vines that are threatening Toril and preventing them from then stopping the god that is enacting an everlasting winter on Icewind Dale. Thank you all for listening, whether you are doing it live or coming back to us on YouTube, and I hope you join us next time. Bye!
Love you, bye-bye.
Bye.
I love you.